I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm trying to think. Chat room, help me out. What the hell is that one sex toy that works over the internet?
They're insect toys that work over the internet, Emdefmek says. All right.
Wait, there aren't? Oh, that's too bad.
I'm sorry. Okay. So, all right, we got this recording. Let's do it. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to FU.
Wait, you guys aren't doing the rolling openings anymore?
We did. We were just talking about insect toys.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, that's how rolling it is.
Yeah.
So it's so.
All right.
we could start a rolling open if you want. Let's see.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
No, what is there to talk about? What's the big news story? What's the big fun news story? The big dumb My Little Pony based news story. Are you guys psyched for Rainbow Rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not.
Boy.
I'm gonna watch it, and I'm sure it's gonna be like the original, but the fact that people are upset about it makes me happy, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care either way. I'm not gonna go see it, but the fact that people are acting legitimately pissed off about it is fun.
But funny enough, not as legitimately mad about it as they were last time. Like there seems like some begrudging like another one of the. Well, the last one was all right. I'm not sure, but.
It's like, well, Hasbro's got bills to pay, so I suppose.
I mean, like, I'll admit, because they played they released like the villain song, and it's like kind of catchy in a musical sort of way. So,
Well, they've released the trailer number 3 and 4, and I was just watching this, and it's a whole bunch of just the regular, just like, yay, we're in a band song. Is just like, yeah, that's pretty boring. And then just the entire beginning act just looks like it's Sunset Shimmer, just sitting there going like, I was such a bitch, oh god, look how, oh man, everyone hates me. It's like, oh boy, yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, we'll have to see. I said I absolutely adore the fact that they're playing off Flash Sentry more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I am so pumped for that.
Is it just our trolling tendencies that we're so just like, oh, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna get?
See, that's the best part is like, it's like you can't even really be critical of him as a character because he has no character. So like
who's his VA again? Vincent Tong or
Vincent Tong? Yeah.
Yeah, Vincent Tong. It's like, well, just to make it even better, I mean, Vincent Tong should just go to, every con with a finely crafted Twilight Sparkle plushie. He should just be hugging it the entire time. That would just make it infinitely better.
Oh, and we have a correction from the stream. His actual name is Brad.
It is Brad. That is correct.
I remember when I asked someone about that, like, where did that joke come from? And then their response was, oh, they're always named Brad.
And it was mainly just the fact that it's just like, who's this guy? Why is he so smarmy? What is his name? And everybody was just like, he's Brad. Because he looks like a Brad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a comic about it, like, before the first movie came out. Here, I got it here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one.
Rusty stating, you guys have no idea how gleefully M.A. Larson used Flash Sentry to troll people at Galacon.
Oh yeah, that's also good. So, I linked that there. I think this comic was made like shortly after they announced the first movie, and this was before we knew much about him. So it's still the best one.
Oh yeah, that entire family scene. That's. But yeah, I am anticipating just hearing. I know Tech wants to go see it, and I probably should go see it. There's a theater in San Francisco that's going to be playing it late September, but there also is just the entire thing of just like, is that really how I want to spend a Saturday night?
You could be playing Ingress.
I could. Oh boy! I could be playing Ingress, or I could not.
You could go watch it and then be like the weird couple who's making out in the back.
The entire time. Just 100% non-stop tonsil hockey. Just from the beginning of it. Oh, honey.
And just be playing tonsil hockey and get one of those $17 personal pan pizzas that they, for some reason, sell at the movie theaters now.
Oh yeah.
And just do like a Lady and the Tramp kind of deal with it, except it's a pizza.
I almost have something similar to that. Sabrina and I actually went to the Tattoo Expo yesterday. If you were in the Bay, Roger, you may have seen those signs for like Tattoo Expo and Beer Festival, which they canceled the beer festival when you arrived. It's like half the reason I'm here is gone. But yeah, they had a lot of real terrible food there. We enjoyed a chili cheese dog, which was pretty much the lowest grade hot dog plus the lowest grade chili plus the nachoiest nacho cheese you could get for $8. Like, whoa.
The nacho cheese is like just literally yellow. Like
oh yeah, it's straight yellow. Like no cheese would ever be that color. It's like you drained Pac-Man's blood to get that. It was like, holy crap. Hey everyone, welcome to Fandom Unlimited. This is Fandom Unlimited episode 16, giving you the rolling start you always wanted. I am Josh, aka AC. Good to have you on. I have two guests because Jeffrey, aka Chef Sandy, is out at a convention. I have in one corner man of GCC and now with his own gaming blog and all that stuff. I have Emdefmek.
I couldn't talk about my yesterday.
You couldn't?
I couldn't? Oh.
Oh, you can.
Okay.
I thought you said you couldn't talk about your yesterday like it was some sort of secret.
No, I was tweeting about it yesterday. But we're in the intro bit right now, so...
Yeah, we could...
Yeah, I'm that guy.
You're that guy.
I'm that guy from over there.
Yep. In the other corner, usual person who is here doing the tabletops for our show and resident Pirates of Darkwater fan is Roger Marsh.
Hello, everybody. I like that you announced this like it's a wrestling match. In which case, I want to be Hulk Hogan.
Do you really?
Can I be King?
Brother.
Can I be King Hippo?
You could be. Now I'm wondering if like what era Hulk Hogan Roger intends to be.
Are you Hulkamania? Are you?
Oh yeah.
I'm
brother.
American.
You're wearing tiny
Fight for the rights of everyone.
That's perfect, brother.
You're coming out wearing tiny T-shirts. You can just go.
Tear it off.
Or are you the Bubba the Love Sponge? I have a Toyota Supra, and my son is a complete douchebag.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about the sex tape.
Hard swings.
No, I wasn't going to mention the sex tape. I was just talking about the Toyota Supras, which I don't know why he owns those.
No, this is a segue, a minor one into something I'll mention later. But one of the How Did This Get Made episodes, they did like a double feature of Hulk Hogan movies. And yeah, basically their like portrayal of Hulk Hogan is the greatest thing ever. So as much as I can possibly emulate him, I will.
So you're watching a whole bunch of Three Samurais Strike Back or something, or what was that? The Three Ninjas? What was that?
Three Ninjas Kick Back or
Kick
something.
Back, yeah. Where it's just like Hulk Hogan's the villain, and the villain's just like, "Ha! Hi, I'm Hulk Hogan in this kids movie."
Yeah.
Oh dear.
So. Yeah. So we got these goobers on, and myself, I'll be an additional goober. We're going to talk about fandom weirdness and stuff we've been watching and, just generally what the heck we're up to. Sabrina's sitting next to me, adding all of her stuff for her Josh Buy Me Thing segment. Fury. Oh, she's done. She's finished already. We'll find out in a moment.
Well, actually, can I mention what all the fun stuff I did do yesterday?
I guess.
Well, I came back home, finally, from my work, and I got a call from my friend Jesse, and he's like, yo, a barcade opened up here in Sioux Falls. Sweet. We're going to head down to it and check it out. You should come with. And I'm like, hell yeah, a barcade? Finally. And there's a thing, there's a thing about Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Falls, South Dakota loves to be like larger cities. we want to try so hard to be like larger cities. So that kind of fits in line. It's like, oh, cities like Seattle and San Francisco and Minneapolis all have barcades. We should have one too. We should have one too. So we all head down to this barcade, and the tip off that it may not have been all that great is that it was the location it was in. It used to be a casino, and before it was a casino, it was a Taco Bell.
How big was this Taco Bell, or how small was this casino?
Well, a casino is a very relative term in South Dakota. A casino can mean a giant, lavish Indian casino, or it can mean, hey, I set up 40 Keno machines. So we're like, okay, all right, let's go inside. 10 machines. 10 arcade machines. And they don't even have a liquor license. They have a beer license. Because apparently a liquor license costs $300,000. But
whoa,
it's a liquor license in South Dakota is extremely expensive. That's why a lot of bars in South Dakota just serve beer, because it's the liquor license is ungodly expensive. The 10 machines, they were good machines. They had like a Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition machine. They had a Neo Geo MVS, which had 4 games in it, like Samurai Showdown, King of Fighters, I think Nam 1975, and version of Metal Slug. They had Mortal Kombat 3. They had Revolution X, the arcade machine, which is 40,000 times better than the home versions.
That's the one where that's the rail shooter with the entire like hardcore shooting zombies and Area 51 and
No, that's the one where Aerosmith has been kidnapped by the World Order.
Yes.
And it's like, we're gonna purify and cleanse the youth, and the person and the big boss is gonna do that looks like a dominatrix. And instead of missiles, you have platinum and gold records you fire at the soldiers. It's an incredibly stupid game, but I love it. And then they had about 4 or 5 pinball machines, which they were all good pinball machines. They had like a Demolition Man. They had a couple from the early 80s, which were awesome. But that's the thing. It was like, you got 10 machines in here, and there's like 40 people packed into this place because it's like your opening day. So it's just 40 people in here, and most of them are like me. They're fat. They got huge beards, and it's 75 degrees outside and 80% humidity. So everybody's sweating, and it's like, oh, this is just...
Yeah, sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it was really awesome. We were there for about we went and played through all the machines, and that took about 40 minutes, and then we were just like, well, this was a good first attempt. This was a good first attempt at a barcade in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
It's like a you tried stamp.
Here's a you tried stamp. And I do wish the best for them. I mean, the owner of the place was there, and he seemed like a nice enough guy. It looked like, he legitimately wanted to... he was really into this, and I do hope for the best for him. At least get some more machines in there. So after that, we went over to the German festival, which is basically takes up all of downtown Sioux Falls, and it's just like, we're 90% of all the white people in South Dakota are German, so we're going to celebrate that fact. And you just go down there, you just drink a shit ton of beer and eat a bunch of incredibly greasy food, and then stumble home.
Sounds fine to me.
Oh yeah. And if you're into watching really, really old, fat white guys in lederhosen, try to do polka dancing, then that's the place you want to go to.
Actually, since it's getting close to like Oktoberfest time, there's some friends that meet on Sundays down in they meet at a Gordon Biersch in a popular city in the Bay Area, and that Gordon Biersch will have just people. They'll clear out an entire part of their bar just to have people in lederhosen dance. And instead of Gordon Biersch, I'm just sitting there going like, we're trying to watch football, but okay.
Well, you know what? If I had to choose between football and watching fat old white men in lederhosen dance, I'd rather watch the fat old white men.
Just spin around in a circle, smacking at their thighs.
Yeah, their noses and their cheeks are like super red because they've just been drinking too much and they're sweating.
You get that nice sweat, alcohol sweat.
They get that shine. They get where it's like their cheeks and their nose, and then in the top of their head that's bald is just shining.
All right, now say it again, but in like a lower voice.
No.
Oh baby. We went out to I said I did the tattoo festival yesterday, which was way too expensive for way too small stuff. Starry got herself a tattoo though. She's got 3 little stars just deet, 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 right there on her collarbone. And
she didn't go in for the full on tramp stamp.
No tramp stamp.
Just a big mural to
just a mermaid.
Bon.
Yeah, just
a big mural to Bon Bon just on the bottom of her back that you can look at.
Yeah, it's a picture of Bon Bon just at her waistband, looking like she's peering up. So
I'm trying to think of a Bon pun.
A Bon pun.
That isn't horribly offensive.
No, I did not get Twilight's cutie on my flank. That would have been. Yeah, no ass tats.
Not like a picture of yourself.
That's a major.
Yeah, just have someone tattoo my own face on my chest.
Well,
oh my god! I just I just pictured something totally else of like Starry just getting like Starry getting a tattoo of your face on her back.
I know, just so we could just smile at each other.
No, I can think the reasoning is like, you'll never look. From here on, you'll only look worse. So we might as well immortalize what we can now forever.
Yeah,
because I'm 32. I'm not too sure how old you are, AC, but we're getting to that point where it's like everything's just gonna start sagging.
It's all downhill.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go out pretty.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We've lost too many. We've already lost too many people.
I'm just gonna stay pretty. That's what I was meaning. What are you thinking about?
I thought I was okay. That's going down a dark road. Sorry.
All right. And then we went to a place, but on the thing of barcades and stuff like this, there's a place that I really want to go to, but I have to find the reason to be in San Francisco to go to it.
I already know what you're about to say because
Soda Popinski's.
Yep, I too listen to the Giant Bombcast.
Oh man, that sounds. It's technically not that great of a place, but I mean, like looking at their website and everything, but just the ability to play NES and 64 games on a back TV and just have drinks sounds amazing.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be at BabsCon in 2015. That's already going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
actually, on that subject, I don't know if any listeners are in LA, but in like the Glendale area, there's a place called Game House, and it's like they can't sell alcohol, but they've got like a little restaurant you can get food and drinks, and the rest of it is just tables and board games, and they have like hundreds of them.
Oh, Juva brings up an interesting thing. We've been down there, but Roger, have you been to the Sunnyvale Golfland?
I have not.
Oh, it's a pretty fantastic arcade, and putt-putt. But yeah, that's kind of where since it's right there in the San Jose Sunnyvale area, all the you can get kind of like specialty machines, and they kind of try out stuff and have big tournaments there. It's really like you'll just go in and be like, God, those are some really gorgeous, fighting tables, and it's just because they have enormous tournaments there. So,
really quick, just because I do hope for the best for them. That barcade in Sioux Falls is called the bonus round. So I don't know if you're ever in Sioux Falls, go check it out and play Street Fighter 2 Tournament Edition. I don't know.
Then have beer. It was the beer at least good. Like, what? Tell me what the best beer they had on tap was.
It was the best beer they had on tap was Boulevard. Boulevard Wheat Ale. Boulevard is a regional brand here, out of Kansas City. But they had the pretty standard fare of like, oh, here's Bud Light, Coors Light, and they had like Boulevard, Leaning Kugel, and then like a couple of microbrews from Minneapolis.
Okay.
So,
they didn't have like your usual Sam Adams-ish?
I didn't see that. I didn't see any of those pull handles. So, no, I'm assuming they don't.
Yeah, that's one of the things that when I go to a place, I just kind of try and see what different handles they had. Like at the place I was at the tattoo place, which was the biggest shame because it's just like they got me all psyched for a beer festival. I'm just like, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, do like that, and I end up going in there. It's like it's canceled. There's Bud Light for $8 a cup. I'm like, oh my god. They were actually selling single bottles of craft beers, like the Sam Adams Oktoberfest and everything, and Drake's and some of the other regional stuff. $10 a pop for a bottle. Like I was just like, oh my god, that hurts. There is plenty of me that hurts looking at that, knowing I bought that same beer, like a 12-pack for $16. It's like, you are monsters.
Oh, I actually, really quick, I know we're running long on this.
Whatever.
But
it's our show. We can do what we want.
I actually, at the German Fest, it ran until about 10 o'clock at night, which might be early for a lot of people, but it's actually pretty late out here.
Mm-hmm. Everyone goes to bed at 6.
Well, I mean, they're all a bunch of old white people. So you know how it is.
They go to bed at 6. Oh, it's starting to get dark out.
Yeah, the sun's starting to set. Time for bed.
We don't want to put the lights on. Social Security only pays so much.
Yeah, but once it started getting dark, like after every polka song, the band on stage would start to do the and it was actually kind of funny because they weren't allowed to drink because they were the bands, which is weird. So what they were doing at the end of every song was they were doing the ziggy zaggy hoy 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 ziggy zag, and random people in the crowd would just down their beers. So my friend Jesse's like, oh shit, I want to get in on this. So he got like two just like cups of just Bud Light. He got his beer tickets out and just like got 2 Bud Lights, and this was like right at the end of the night, and he's like, I'm gonna finish these off and I'm good for the night. And they do the ziggy zaggy hoy hoy, and then he goes and he just downs the first Bud Light, and I actually filmed him doing this. He downs the first Bud Light, and then he starts to go to do the other one, and his face, like if it was a cartoon, his face would have turned green. Because apparently the Bud Light turned.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's already bad to begin with.
Well, he did the Bud Light because it's like, if you're going to just down 16 ounces of beer in just one shot, Bud Light's the easiest way to go about it.
True.
Yeah. So it just started to, and then he just like, oh God, that was horrible. And I'm like, wait. And I'm like, hang on, let me see. And I went and took like a tiny sip of his other one, and it just tasted like straight up ass.
Was it skunk is all skunk or what?
Yeah, it was skunk.
Ooh, boy. Badly.
Yeah, and so he like went back to the tent, and they were like, and they went and tried, and they're like, oh crap, we're sorry about that. And they just gave him two tall boy cans of Bud Lights. Canned Bud Lights. So it was like, okay, that's a reasonable trade-off.
Yeah, I worked at a grocery store for a long time, as my first job, and like realizing it back then, the biggest crime we ever committed was that all of our alcohol just sat in an unchilled cooler in the back. Just like, now I know about. It's like, oh my god, what did we do? We were monsters. It's like, no wonder people would come back and return going like, this stuff's skunky as hell. I was like, I know nothing about beer. Why would I care nowadays? I'm like, no, that needs to be properly chilled.
Yeah. I mean, even if it is just Bud Light, it's like that's just can still turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was in Ingalls in Georgia, so I don't think they cared.
I have never heard of that.
It's a regional Georgia grocery store chain. It's not even a Kroger.
You can at least say Piggly Wiggly, because even though Piggly Wiggly's got like 7 stores, everybody in the country knows what Piggly Wiggly is.
Piggly Wiggly used to be the shit. It used to be like Shoney's. They were the groceries. They were the first grocery store. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they got mentioned again in "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" and that's how everybody in the country knew what Piggly Wiggly was. Because apparently, one of the characters was in prison because he robbed one.
Well, if you got to rob a store, Piggly Wiggly seems like a place to go. We do not condone robbing stores on this show, but.
Nor do we condone anybody going to Piggly Wiggly.
Yeah, there's better grocery stores to spend your time at. At least you're not like going to the grocery outlet bargain market.
Oh, gross out? I wish, dude. I wish we had gross outs out here because it's like you could just go there and be like, "Oh, here's a bunch of mac and cheese, bunch of Velveeta mac and cheese, 10 for $1. Oh, off color. Oh boy, I'm eating radioactive green mac and cheese." But at least it was $1.
I had never heard about them until I came to the Bay Area, and I only really first encountered them by hearing them on the radio, and even their radio ads sound depressing. Like their jingle is Grocery Outlet Bargain Market.
No, they should just capitalize on the fact of like, yo, we sell messed up stuff and stuff that failed in product testing. Come and check it out.
This stuff...
Come and buy it. It's really cheap.
Yeah, here's some Wheaties candy bars, and here's some energy drinks called cocaine.
Yeah, it's just very weird going into one because you're like, wow, we really could buy a whole bunch of stuff really cheap, and you just go like, this is creepy.
This is like every dollar store that you can just feel the sadness.
Oh, geez, like a Big Lot. The 2 places out here that you really get that feeling is a Dollar General and Big Lots. And you're just like, it is especially the case with Dollar General because you could do all your grocery shopping at Dollar General if you really wanted to. And I have been in a Dollar General once, and I have seen people grocery shop in there, and I'm just like, oh man.
Hey, should we buy more pork and beans? I think we should buy pork and beans. We only had it 2 times this week. Yep. Lowered expectations. Living it to the edge. We say as we're here. So, wow, we've gone on a few rails. Just keep jumping tracks.
That's what they say in Hayward, right?
Yeah, really.
It's just like the GCC, where one episode we took an hour and a half to finally realize we needed to introduce ourselves.
That's a way to do it.
Is the new viewers gone yet?
Yeah, I don't know. We still got 44. We're still doing okay.
Yeah, I'm looking over. I'm looking over there, and we apparently got Piggly Wiggly fanboy. He's just like, currently there are more than 600 independently owned Piggly Wigglies. Operated in 17 states. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, Rusty's still here. He's our fan.
I'm not calling Jova a fanboy. I'm just making fun. I'm just poking fun.
And Scope is mentioning that he goes to Piggly Wiggly for his Faygo, for all of his insane clown posse needs. So,
for the longest time, I thought that Homestuck was like a ICP fanfic.
It sort of is.
That would make it so much better.
It kind of is, considering that I had to have somebody explain it to me, but I'm just like, why is there so many ICP references? It's like, oh, one of the main characters is like an ICP troll. It's like, oh,
yeah. So I thought it was just like an ICP fanfic. I'm like, why are there so many people on Tumblr like into this? I didn't know so many ICP fans were on Tumblr. I'm like, oh wait, it's not. Oh.
See, how amazing would that be if they got up on stage and they're wearing like the Homestuck troll horns?
I wouldn't put it against them, and then they'd throw somebody off of a table doing wrestling moves. That's the thing. Like, as much as I kind of think that Juggalos are kind of annoying, like the band itself.
Kind of.
Hold on. I think the band itself does some really like crazy and interesting stuff. Like their entire stint where they just went like, "Hey, we're wrestlers now. Why not? We want to do it. Whatever. We're in the WCW now. We're in the WWF. Okay, now we're making our own damn federation." It's like, all right, ambitious. I can't knock that. That's kind of.
They are like the weird in that they're this just total degenerate trash who have a bunch of money. It's like, yeah, let's go do this.
Like, why not? It's like, hey, let's just go off. Let's go off.
They're the Gwar for the new age.
Truly.
Gwar was totally tongue in cheek though. Like Insane Clown Posse, they are 100% on board with whatever the hell it is you want to call them.
Yeah.
Come on, you've seen the video of Gwar dunking on Jesus.
But I don't know. I have to think that ICP's in on it too. I mean, magnets, how do they work? Come on.
Yeah,
They can't be that far gone. They really can't.
Far gone after that much Fago.
Magnets. Anyway, so we got a full show here. We got our gratuitous fandom consumptions. We've got news for, stuff in places. We don't have any emails, but we got plenty to talk about. We got people in the chat room here at Stream Up, so woo! So let's go ahead and move forward. Our sponsor, Sandy's Con, who's not here because he's at other Texas-based horse conventions, is Nightmare Nights Dallas. 10% off with Bronyville 10, and you can hang out with me and a whole bunch of other people. Are you going, Em? Are you going to be able to make that? Sweet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll be down there.
Sweet. So we'll probably somehow resurrect the podcast panel of last year that Dusty crashed, since all of us will technically be there again.
Yeah, and I think, isn't also Brony Time going to be out there?
They might. I haven't actually talked to them or found out.
I'd heard some that either 5 Iron or Alpha, whichever one is going to be out there.
That'd be good. I haven't actually met Alpha face-to-face to, give him the swirly yet, so... That's good. So yeah, you go check that out. Quickly approaching. Go register for all of your badge and for the hotel room and everything. Get out there to Dallas, Texas, and go hang out with Tabitha St. Germain and all the other people. So. All right, in Audio Stratus, it's my audio recording thing. I may actually have someone, we may actually be making a version of the product in the next coming week, so I'll keep you informed as that goes. Making a very lightweight version to try and just to get something that we can play with and actually record some great audio online. So looking forward to that. Audiostratus.com if you are interested in recording with your buds across the internet, across Skype or any other platforms. Audiostratus.com. All right.
Nice.
Or what was that?
I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hopefully it takes off enough to where you don't have to go and be like, oh, hey there, editor for PC Gamer.
Well,
Is that a USB mic in your pocket? Or you're just happy to see me?
Well, the
reference
a little bit. Oh my! Is that software in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? But the
hey there,
PC
world.
Let me upgrade your firmware here.
Oh.
Ars Technica, more like Ass Technica.
Woo. That's some real hard DDR3 RAM you got there.
Oh, the cat's back.
So, yeah, cat's around. But, hey, there he is.
Actually, yeah.
But I was going to say, yeah, the main thing that I need to do with the Audio Stratus right now is actually get some small version of the software up and running. because that was actually one of the things that was a hindrance when I was going towards like investors and some business sides before. It's like, I got this really great idea. I got somebody ready and waiting to start working on it. I just, need the funds to actually be able to do it. And they're like, yeah, not until we see you actually have something physical.
Something to demonstrate.
Then we don't care. And it's like, yeah, but I can't get that until I get... It's like, all right, fine. I'll make the tiniest of tiniest versions of this. And, I'll have something to show.
Basically just like an E3 demo.
Well, I mean, it is essentially, to explain exactly what the which I may even just call audio cirrus, just to separate itself a little bit. But it is literally just an audio recorder with a virtual audio source. It records the audio as you speak into it, and then forwards and you can forward the virtual audio over to a secondary device like Skype, like Google Hangouts. No synchronization, but it's something that you can actually keep the audio and be able to use the WAV files collected by it to stitch it together and have everyone as high def audio as possible. So
basically making them bullshits work a lot easier.
Yeah, well at least, and a little bit in that, but also unfortunately in this version make it a little bit harder because now he's got to stitch multiple audio files that won't be synced at the same time. But at least it'll sound good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's baby steps for the most part. So,
and if worse comes worse, you just have everybody just do this.
Yeah, just clap at the same time. Yeah. Might as well. Enough places do that. All right, gratuitous fandom consumption segment. Let's do this. I shall go first by stating that I have been playing BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea. And very similar to the ending of BioShock Infinite, I needed to go check the wiki to understand what the hell just happened.
Now, in this one, are you still Booker?
You are still Booker. You are Booker DeWitt.
Wait, so is this the one where, like, Elizabeth is... It's sort of like a noir?
Yes.
Okay. This... I'll be honest, I haven't played it yet, but from what I've seen of it, this comes off as, like, super creepy to me. Because it's like... Elizabeth, oh shoot, crap! I'm about to spoil BioShock Infinite all the hell.
Well, okay, you can. I think let's check with anyone in the chat room or anyone that's listening right now. If you have not played the original BioShock Infinite, which has been out for like 2 years at this point, plug your ears and wait a few minutes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so go for it.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so at the end of BioShock Infinite, you find out that Elizabeth is basically your daughter. She is your daughter. And then, like, in Burial at Sea, she's, like, coming on to you, like, hey there. Let's go.
No, not really.
Oh, she's not?
She's not. Okay, she's not coming on to you.
I got the impression that, like, she was, like, really hitting on you and stuff. And it's like, I am your father, little lady.
No, she's not hitting. She's more doing that kind of, like, noir-style, smoky, mysterious woman thing. Like, just kind of like leading
role playing.
She's leading you on. She's kind of like giving you information, and then just Booker's just like, well, what does all this mean to you? It's like, listen, I just have an interest in this girl. That's all. And she's never going after Booker. She's more just interested in just like, listen, you've got a job to do, and Booker's like, all right.
Okay.
But it's in that weird way that BioShock Infinite is like it covers the multiple universe thing. Do you want me to spoil that particular ending, or do you want to hold off? Because I can go into that.
Let's hold off on that.
Okay, all right. But it's one of those things where, similar to the end of BioShock Infinite, you felt like you understood it, but you didn't understand enough, so you just needed to double check. You're like, is that what they meant? Okay, check. Oh, okay, all right, okay, I got you. This is another alternate timeline where, all right, this is weird, but okay.
Whereas you could just be like me and be like, oh my god, this is so amazing. This game is so awesome. Oh, I can't understand that. I need to research this more. Oh wait, is that XCOM over there?
Oh boy, I can shoot aliens. Sweet. But yeah, I finished episode 1. I need to do episode 2 and finish it up. And you know, but I enjoyed it. You got to. I don't think giving the end boss. It was fighting a big daddy, and man, he was harder than fighting them in the original game.
I imagine.
It's like, oh crap! Like the entire. So the weird part about this game is it still has the sky rails. Like you still kind of can jump up and do the sky rail stuff, which is all I ever do is just jump up and just immediately one-shot kill everything by jumping on top of them.
Oh yeah, the sky rails were the best.
Yeah, but the thing is that the Big Daddy somehow has this like ability that his drill can just shoot up and like grab you off of the sky rail. And so I was just like, what? Oh, Starry's posting weird pictures of me smiling. How unsettling. Creepy. This is so unsettling. But yeah, it's I'm having fun. I'm having such a good time. But yeah, it's been fine. You know, I think it's been good. I actually enjoyed BioShock Infinite for as much as people kind of poo-pooed it after the fact. I still thought it was a good game. It's unfortunately has to live up to really high expectations because it's got BioShock in the name.
Well, yeah, I kind of agreed with like when Extra Credits talked about BioShock Infinite. I kind of had an issue with it, but I couldn't quite put it down. And really, Extra Credits just explained it the best. It's still a good game. It's just like trying to force the BioShock tropes into Columbia just doesn't really seem to work out too well. You know, the whole like fallen society and everything. And it's like, well, that doesn't really work in Columbia because Columbia is a fully functional society.
But I would have felt better if they would have, you know, just I know it doesn't make sense from a marketing standpoint, but completely throw the BioShock name out and just have called it Columbia. You know, and had a lot more freedom to go with it. Like,
oh yeah, because it wouldn't have been bound with the whole what are they called? The salt. I forgot what they called them.
The Eve and the salt, and that particular stuff, and Adam, and you know all that.
Yeah, because that there looked really, really forced.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you've got magical powers in your hand. Is like, why? Just cause.
Yeah, why doesn't anybody else have this? Oh, just cause.
What, don't you?
Sky racism.
Yeah. I don't know.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I actually enjoyed it. You know, but in BioShock, the only thing I give is that BioShock's like the game controls aren't good. Like that's the entire thing.
Have you ever checked out 1999 mode?
I have not. I might need to try that again.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about doing the Let's Play of BioShock Infinite with 1999 mode, because I forgot about it and then somebody reminded me of it. I guess it's supposed to just be like the game literally plays like a game from 1999, which implies it's incredibly.
Just people, just waves coming towards you all the time.
Waves and waves, and it's super, super twitchy. So that might be interesting to check out.
Could be. I recalled some people playing that back when it was out when that was happening, and going like, "Oh man, 1999 mode." So, let's see. For other stuff, Pony Comics. I've been catching up on those. Those still remain to be pretty good. I read, which one was it? Trying to think. I read one of them. I feel bad for not.
The Shining Armor Cadence high school one is the best by far.
See, I had a problem downloading that on Comixology, but now I finally figured out and fixed it. So now I can actually can go back and look at those.
You mean Comixology? He was having problems after Amazon bought them up.
Yeah. Well, this was actually before that because I went to purchase the comic books, and then for whatever reason the payment did something weird and didn't go through, but it still said on the app, it's like, yeah, you totally purchased this. Go ahead and download it. Hit the download, and it's just like, I don't. We said this guy could download it, but I don't think he actually bought this. So it was freaked out.
I'm super analog. I just buy the big condensed volume sets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Still, my favorite arc is the alternate universe arc where it's like, oh, Celestia is in love with the good King Sombra,
but she's secretly breaking her own world.
Yeah, and then if all for that one panel where Luna is like gazing up at this chaotic eldritch rift that's been ripped between these two universes, is like, how are you supposed to know that that your selfishness and love for this other person, this other universe, would destroy both of them? And Celestia is just like, thanks a lot.
I'm now the one not doing the bad stuff. Hooray!
I like the cover where they showed like the evil versions of all the characters, and their version of Fluttershy was just, she's really mad at Angel, and like, good. That's what it should be. It's like,
eat it, you dumb rabbit.
Yeah,
well, he's the worst. So it's like the mirror version of her is like the better one.
In that cover, the one that kind of unsettled me the most was Cadence in shiny armor.
Yes,
because it's like Cadence looks like she smokes about 3 packs of cigarettes a day along with a bottle of whiskey, and shiny armor looks like he's been beaten.
Oh no, that's not it. She's like punk as hell, and it's amazing. And
yeah.
he looks all sad.
Yeah, he looks like he's just a battered husband.
So I think,
and then you have Chrysalis back there, and she's like, looks like a librarian.
I like that. I think Mirror Cadence's element, or her cue mark, is the element of heartbreaking.
And this goes great into my next thing. Speaking of elements of heartbreaking, we watched Her.
Heartbreaker. Oh,
so Her is that movie with Joaquin Phoenix. So hard to pronounce his name. Harlequin Phoenix. The one with the like, you fall in love with an AI. I knew there was going to be one just like, we're going to put this on. Sabrina's just like, this is going to make me cry, isn't it? And I'm like, we'll see. At the end, she's just like, God damn it. God damn it.
I have not seen it yet. I've heard it's really good, though.
I thought it was really good. Sabrina, what was your feeling? Did you like it?
Yes, I liked it.
She liked it. It is a good movie. It is one of those things where you sit there and you go like, wow, Joaquin Phoenix did this entire movie just talking to no one. And then just, Scarlett Johansson just recording the lines after it. It's really good.
Spoiler alert, it's a metaphor for a distance and separation between people in society. Spoiler, no.
Oh no.
Oh, deep narratives. Too spooky. Let's see. As for more balls to the wall crazy movies, we watched Godzilla, the new one that came out about Godzilla and I guess a Mothra-esque thing attacking San Francisco.
So not the Roland Emmerich one.
No.
Not the one with P. Diddy singing. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I kind of like that song though, for whatever reason. I just like.
It's a really good build up. It's a really good pump up song.
Well, that's because you're insane.
Yeah, it seems like a good song to use as your wrestling intro. Just be like, oh man, I got to do wrestling tonight. What you do? Yeah, just use that song. Just some, I don't know, like make a siren go off at the beginning of it too. Then just start playing that. Yeah, you can come to the ring.
Like, let's see, we either got like the Godzilla song or that one song from Tron called Fall. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, there we go. I haven't seen Godzilla, but I've seen the gifs for it, and I've already, so I kind of spoiled myself with it.
So
but
you've basically seen it then.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, that that one scene where like Godzilla finally beats the other kaiju. I forgot which one it is, and how they like how he like kills them. It's just like that is horrible.
That's pretty. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what it is.
Yeah.
Go watch it yourself. It's like, oh my god. It's sort of like back in the first Transformer movie where Bumblebee just like brutally kills that one leopard Decepticon by like grabbing it by its head and like squeezing its like body off of its spine.
And you're talking about the one where they're standing in the bay and he does it, right?
Yeah.
That was like, oh.
Where Godzilla was like, literally, I am done with your shit. So like, open up.
Yeah. The only thing the one of the things I will say about the movie that it gets away with is that it teases the fight so much, and they even have a scene where it's just like, hey, look, finally the two monsters are fighting, the doors are closing, and now the scene is over. It's like, oh, you jerks. And then all the fight scenes after that, once they finally get into the fight scenes, they're all at night.
Oh, jeez.
They did a Pacific Rim.
Not even a Pacific Rim. Like, Pacific Rim did the night scenes, but there was still enough lights in it that you kind of had some effects to it. This was, all the lights are out. There's very little light. Like, they really went just like we are going to hide all of our animation problems behind the fact you can't see shit.
I just want to make sure where this, because all of the Toho Godzilla movies basically take place in or around Japan, and then the Roland Emmerich one took place in New York. Where does this one take place? Is it L.A. or San Francisco?
It takes place, so it starts in Japan, it moves to Honolulu, and then it goes to San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, so like Godzilla's actually just trekking across the Pacific.
Yeah, well, the basis is that if you want to get a little bit into the specifics, there's some monsters that have appeared, and what happens is that Godzilla is technically kind of like a hunter monster. So he only comes into play when he knows that there are other monsters to attack and kill.
Oh, okay. So it's not like he's like he's not like, oh, fuck you humans. He's just like, no, I gotta go take care of this other human or this other monster, and you guys are just getting in the way.
To some extent, yeah. And it's a lot of like a lot of the usual stuff you see in Godzilla movies where nukes come into play and humans are just kind of like, let's hit these things that eat nuclear radiation with a nuclear weapon. It's like, oh, you morons!
But it's not the radiation that's the point of the weapon. It's the explosion.
Right, and that's what they were doing. It's like, yeah, but we're just gonna explode it and it'll be okay. And it's like, yeah, but these things, if it doesn't kill it, then it's going to just feed off of the radiation and become worse.
Yeah, I do. That is really cool because that's the one thing I really liked about Pacific Rim was like how, like, whenever they show like a disaster movie, it seems like they only care about where all the rich people live. Like, it's always, like, New York or L.A. or Tokyo. And so that's really cool that, like, they went to, like, Honolulu and, like, these other places. Like, that's why I really liked Pacific Rim because they didn't specifically show it in the movie. But they did show some of it where it's like, oh, hey, yeah, they attacked San Francisco, but then they attacked Manila in the Philippines. Oh, and Hong Kong and Sydney. And then, like, you go and you read the expanding universe, you see, like, oh, Lima, Peru was attacked. That one resort town in Mexico was attacked. And it's like all these, it's just like, it didn't matter where the country was on the Pacific. It was just like everybody was just getting hit by these kaiju.
Meanwhile,
I thought it was really cool because it seems like with these disaster movies, they seem to really focus a lot on like first world nations, and it's like with Pacific Rim, they were showing was like, no, everybody's getting screwed.
Mm-hmm.
God, giant monsters attacking, first world problem.
Yeah, it's like Pacific Rim is like, no, it's everybody's problem.
Yeah,
just there. Yeah, but you could imagine how like underwhelming it would be for a movie just to be like, guys, the kaiju are attacking Siberia. It's like, great.
Yeah.
Woo, boy,
that's what I mean. As much as I love Cherno Alpha, and everybody makes a big deal of how like Cherno Alpha defended Siberia from the kaiju, it's like, okay, there's Vladivostok, and what else did it have to defend?
Surrounded by thousands of miles of tundra.
Yeah,
and wasn't one of the like at the beginning of the movie? Wasn't the kaiju going after like Alaska? Like
it was going after Anchorage.
Anchorage, yeah, which is technically kind of a small-esque city, even though it's like big for Alaska.
It's big for Alaska, but apparently in the movie, like it was mentioned that they were defending 2 million people. So I'm guessing in this alternate timeline, for some reason, Anchorage, Alaska is a much, much larger city. So
I thought it was because there was like a military base there.
There's a military base, but they also said you're defending 2 million people.
Oh, okay.
So it's implied that at least Anchorage has 2 million people for some reason in this timeline.
Now I have to go find out what Anchorage's actual population is.
I think it's like 700,000 people or something. It's a pretty big city for Alaska.
More than 100,000 residents. So it's got 100,000 residents. Alaska itself has 731.
Okay, my bad. It actually has like 300,000 residents.
Oh, yeah, 300,000, yeah.
So almost half of the population of Alaska lives in Anchorage.
Yeah, so, yeah. Wow, they had a big boom.
Well, it's like here in South Dakota, like Sioux Falls has like... Sioux Falls, including its whole metro area, has about between a third and a half of South Dakota's population.
Hmm.
Actually, when you look at when you look at like the population map, almost 2/3 of the state of South Dakota live in 2 cities or live around 2 cities. We're like Australia, almost.
All right. Well, let's see. So we got that. Let's see. Next up, started watching after listening to a Nerdist podcast with Anthony Bourdain. Ended up picking up his Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown, watching that on Netflix. Just watching a man go to dangerous parts of the world and eat food. I'm really enjoying that. I mean, it's a lot of him going around just checking out stuff and, just sharing stories. I've only gotten through the first 3 episodes, but the most nerve-wracking thus far was his trip to Libya, which was always like, hey, we're gonna go talk food and talk about the liberation, and then every once in a while it's just like, put the camera away, put the camera away, put the camera away. Like, we need to go. Just
we pissed off a bunch of people.
This militia is claiming that this area is theirs and we didn't get the proper information and nobody knows why, and now they're yelling at us. We should probably get in these vehicles. Point the camera down.
That makes me think of that. Vice put out like a documentary about where they went and talked to like ISIS.
Ooh.
Oh, geez, yeah. I remember seeing that. But it's pretty good, yeah. But didn't they do that via Kurdistan? Because I know that ISIS and Kurdistan, they're not friends with each other, but they kind of are like not openly attacking each other.
I forget what the setup was. Either way, it was incredibly dangerous. So
yeah, the Vice does some stuff every once in a while. Like their North Korea one was just like going there, going like, "How did you do this?" Like it's like you did some sort of magic trick to allow this.
Oh jeez, I've actually talked about this book before on the GCC. It's a book called Lost on Planet China, and it's about this dude, this writer who is basically like he's a Dutch American. He's a J. Morton Troost. He was like, I want to go to China and check it out because of things, and I'm going to go buy this Chinese for Dummies book, and I've got a ticket to China. Let's go. And he goes there, and he has this whole big adventure in China. I've talked about it before on the GCC. There's a lot of funny, weird stuff that happens. But at the end of it, he started in Shanghai, and then he just goes all across the country over the course of like 6 months. He ends up at one of the cities on the Chinese cities on the North Korean border, and that's where he's gonna fly to Hong Kong and then fly back to the States. And before he goes, he sees like a sign for this guy. This guy's like, "Yo, I got a power boat. You want to go skim the coast of North Korea?" And he's like, I'm an American national. Why not? And he goes and does this, and like throughout this whole story, like when he first went to China, he kind of viewed it as like this super oppressive regime and everything, and then China slowly started to grow on him as just this quirky, weird country that somehow functions, but it has its own charm and stuff. So he goes on this boat, and they start skimming the coast of North Korea, and the North Korean guards on the other side are like starting to get pissed off. They're like looking at them and not pointing their guns at the boat, but they're just like they're obviously perturbed by what they're doing, because apparently this is a regular thing that happens, and it's a problem that they've tried to get the Chinese officials to stop, but they don't. And then the engine for the power boat just shuts off, and they're just like, and then they start coasting towards the North Korean border, and it's like, then like all these North Korean guards are like looking at them, and they see a truck start to roll up, and the guy just like he turns and looks towards the Chinese city. He's like, please, I want to go back. Please take me back to China. Anything but this. Please just take me back. And the book just ends.
Oh.
Right there. So the book got published, so somehow they got the engine started again so they could take off back to the Chinese city. But it's just like, man, that must have been hair-raising, because he was an American national. So that could have caused an international incident.
It's like, we found a spy trying to get into the country. I'm like, oh, god damn, no. He was just a goober on a boat trying to write something.
Trying to write a book. Yeah.
Damn writers always turning into spies.
No, it's actually... It's also an audiobook on audible.com. It's Lost on Planet China. It is a great book to check out. It is amazing.
So the Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown, starting to watch that. It's really, really good, and it's really crazy how open he is about his life. Just the entire fact of just like going to Colombia and talking about the drug trade there, and asking people really poignant questions of like, so you made a whole bunch of money, doing cocaine, like selling cocaine in this town, and now the government has come in and is now making it so that you stop making cocaine, and now everyone is poor and desperate and not, and everyone's leaving. Like, mayor of this town, how do you feel about that, considering the fact that your town is dying because you can't sell cocaine? Just these really poignant questions, like, damn. And him just coming out and being in the mayor being like, well, this is a better way to go, and Anthony going, oh yeah, I was a crack addict, totally, I understand that, like, it's that stuff's bad. It was like, wow, he's just putting this all out in the open. Like, damn.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
pretty cool.
It's a good series. And then finally, Sabrina has been watching the Sailor Moon Crystal. It looks like it's a pretty looking show. It does definitely look like Sailor Moon, which means everyone has those faces that for some reason I can't like stand.
They're all shaped like guitar picks.
Yeah, a lot of guitar pick shaped faces. A lot of really pointy chins. But the coloring's good, and the animation looks really good. It's just, every time I hear it, it's just like, yeah, it sounds a lot like Sailor Moon. Yeah, it looks a lot like Sailor Moon, but it at least looks a little bit more approachable than when I was growing up, and my female friends would be watching and be like, Sailor Moon's so good. And it's like, I'll trust you. I'll trust that it's pretty good.
Yeah,
I saw
2 episodes.
Oh, I was about to say, I'm just gonna stick with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah,
because nothing like gigantic muscular men punching.
Yeah, here that's a popular one. All right, well, what else have you been doing in Defmek? What else has been your consumption?
Well, I've been totally absorbed in a little RPG on the 3DS known as Project X Zone, which is basically like Super Smash Brothers or PlayStation All Stars, except it's an it's a tactical role playing game that's published by Namco Bandai, and it includes, let's see, games from companies such as Namco Bandai, Capcom, Sega. Okay, yeah, just those three companies. But let's look at the games. We've got characters from Resident Evil, such as Chris Redfield, Jill Valentine. We got characters from Devil May Cry, Darkstalkers, such as Dante from Devil May Cry, Dimitri, Morrigan, Hissen Ko from Darkstalkers. We got Ryu and Ken and Chun-Li from Street Fighter. We've got X and Zero from Mega Man X. We've got Frank West from Dead Rising.
Oh boy,
he's awesome. We've got people from Valkyria Chronicles, Sakura Wars, Shining Force, Resonance of Fate, Tales of Vesperia, Tekken, Dot Hack, Xenosaga, God Eater.
So what
Endless
the hell
Frontier.
is this game?
It's just here's all of our characters, and we've made up this really convoluted story about all their universes being linked together by some bad guy who I don't even know who it is. Apparently the bad guy is talking with all of the bad guys from these different universes. So you will have you'll have situations where it's Tron Bon is fighting M. Bison.
John Tron's fighting M. Bison?
No, Bontron.
I know.
Tron Bon. John Tron, Bontron.
I'm putting my money on Roll Julia.
It's so awesome just to see all these characters. And a lot of these characters I don't know about. It's I don't know who Toma is from Shining Force EXA. But damn, they've got some pretty powerful attacks. And that's the other great thing about Project X Zone. It's you go into the battle, and it's just you just start hitting button combinations like a fighting game, and it's just all of this crap is happening on the top screen. So much is going on, and then you get the KO when you knock the other guy out. It's awesome. It's like a combination RPG and fighting game. It's great. It's great. Everybody should check out Project X Zone. Everybody.
Rusty asked the hard question of is Sonic in it?
No, but Ooh La La is in it from Space Channel 5.
There you go.
There you go.
There's a game I didn't play even though I was a Sonic fanboy.
Oh, yeah. Also, there's Arthur's in it. Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins is in it. And he's great because he's a solo character. Most of your characters are dual characters, and then you tack on a solo character with them. That's sort of like your special weapon. So Arthur from Ghosts and Goblins is like your special weapon, who you can pair up with any of the other groups. And when you activate him to come in and attack, his finishing move blows off all his clothes, just like in the original Ghosts and Goblins. And it's awesome. Just Go check it out. I think there's a demo of it out on the Nintendo eShop. Go download the demo if you like it. Go freaking buy it. It's amazing.
Okay. So I have to know about this next game because I'm so damn curious.
It's Hatoful Boyfriend is a game.
It is.
That was fan translated, and then Devolver Digital, which is quickly becoming the best game publisher on the planet, picked it up.
Hotline Miami.
Yeah, they put out Hotline Miami and a ton of other games I can't remember at the moment right now, which is awful. But they picked up and did a HD remake of Hatoful Boyfriend, and you do get 1080p birds in it. Yes, Hatoful Boyfriend is where you play as a human girl going to an elite high school for birds, and you get to talk to birds and date birds and have drama with birds.
This sounds
whole,
like
whole con-
this sounds like TechFX like dream. Like
Yeah.
for a bird-centric female, this sounds like exactly. I actually wanted to get her on just so we could also talk about Hatoful Boyfriend.
And if you're a fan of puns, which I know, at least for a time back in 2011, everybody in the Brony fandom was, there's a lot of bird puns, such as every birdie.
Yeah!
Ugh.
And some birdie. So if you love your puns, there you go. There's even, I guess, from what I've seen, there's a character that really reminds me of Rarity in that they have a really stuck-up attitude and a beautiful, beautiful tail.
And yet,
they're pure whites.
oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Such a
So-
perfect character.
I was gonna say if you follow that important bird Tumblr, then this is a good game for you.
Yeah. I'm doing a let's play of it. I've got one episode up so far, and it's just like this is so stupid. This is so dumb, but I'm having lots of fun playing it.
I'm sure it's one of those ones where you're like, oh, this is ridiculous, and you keep playing it, and like, I'm engrossed in this high school bird game.
Well, I think what also helps is that they're birds, because if they weren't, it's kind of weird because you get the option at the beginning where if you want to, you can have them at certain points in the game be presented as humans. And I'm like, why are you doing that? The whole reason I bought this game was because they are birds. I want to see birds.
Do they factor that into the story? Like, it's actually, like, they are actually humans, but you see them as birds, or...
No, they are birds. These are birds. But for some reason you can and they work into the storyline where if you turn this option on, it's like you see them as humans at certain points, and that's something to do with you have a disorder or something. It's kind of weird how they kind of justify it and try to make that work. But I'm just like, nope, we're just going in this full bird mode. Yeah, I bought this for the birds.
And this is on Steam, right?
It's on Steam, and I also got the collector's edition, which includes the game, the soundtrack, exclusive soundtrack, and a manga for it. So I'll have to read that. The yearbook, the St. Pigeon Nation's yearbook, and then the bunch of exclusive wallpapers. Awesome.
Who's the manga artist who did all the horror ones, like Uzumaki?
Oh, Junji Ito?
Junji Ito, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not by him, is it?
No. I'm pretty sure it's not. It says here the developer was somebody called Hatomoa, and then the publisher is Devolver Digital.
I'm only asking because it sounds like something he would do in one of his lighter moods. we can't see the birds all around us.
No, what Junji Ito does when he's in his lighter moods is that whole Enigma at Ariyama Fault or whatever that's called. It's coming this way. Dur. That's like one of his funny comics, and he said as much that's one of his funny comics. And then then you have actually my favorite comic by him is the Hellstar Remina. I don't know if you've ever read that. It's about a planet that consumes other planets and drives people insane. It's a very Junji Ito has said many times before that he's a huge fan of Lovecraft. And I think Hellstar Remina is like his most openly Lovecraftian Lovecraft story.
Because there is a Lovecraft story in which someone talks to an evil star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there is that story, and then it's like you look at Gyo has a reference. It has there's a story. There's a Lovecraft story that's similar to it. Uzumaki all of his stories have very, very, very prominent links to Lovecraft stories. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Another game I played, which I got in the extra credits Humble weekly bundle, is a side-scrolling shoot 'em up called Enemy Mines, where you are basically the spirit. You're like a ghost or a spirit that can, or some kind of creature that can hijack the minds of the enemy ships that are attacking you, so you can take control of their ships.
Their ships.
Their ships.
Their
ships.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, their ships, and use them against their former allies. And you can, and they encourage you to keep swapping ships because you have an ammo counter. And once you run out of ammo, you can't fire anymore, so you have to switch ships. And it's really cool because it actually has a really intriguing story, because if you read the text that runs by as you're playing, you kind of realize you might be the bad guy here, because there are lines where it's like he's attacking civilian ships, he's killing civilians, take him down now. It's like you're like, oh crap, maybe I'm the bad guy here. I don't know.
War is a tough time,
because there are actually there are like civilian ships that come along, and you can take control of those civilian ships as well, or you can attack and blow them up, and it's like, oh crap.
And it never changes, right?
Yeah.
Do the civilian ships have guns as well, so you're firing with them? Okay, so you're just jumping to them and then forcing the other side to be like, but he's taking control of that ship, we gotta shoot it anyway.
Yeah, it's really like it's kind of a disturbing game. Now I think about it, but anyway, I've also been playing Shovel Knight on the 3DS. When I want to take breaks from Project X Zone, I'll jump into Shovel Knight. I've been exploring the cheat codes, which, according to, because it's also on Steam, so there's a guide on Steam of listing all the cheat codes, of which there are like so far there's like over 320, and there's still more being found. And I've kind of been on this whole thing of like testing out as many cheat codes as I can, which so far has been 10, because it's like, that's a lot of cheat codes. And I found my favorite one. I forgot what because it's a weird code. So it's like, my favorite one is one where basically the Shovel Knight just moves extremely fast and jumps very, very, very high when he pogos on the shovel. And I tried playing it, and I got to, like, in the first level, you have to fight the Dark Knight. It's like your first battle, you fight the Dark Knight. And so I'm fighting him, and I'm like going really, really fast, too fast for him to catch up to me. So I just like completely whipped his ass. And then I hit the final shot, and it sends me careening off screen, and then further back in the level. I hit the mid checkpoint, and I bounce off the mid checkpoint and land back at the start, and I broke the game.
Oh damn!
Because it's like, what was supposed to happen when I hit that final shot was it was supposed to go into a cutscene, but all of a sudden I get thrown all the way back to the beginning of the level, and the game didn't know what to do, so it just crashed.
It's like, we need to, back
to the 3DS menu.
Just blue screen straight on you. All right, yeah, I've heard good stuff about Shovel Knight and the way that it's
a great game.
Yeah, it kind of plays off the being a retro game and kind of a really accurate way, yet still being like still adhering to enough like smart, like modern game design tropes but still staying very true to being an older game.
There are no cheat deaths. It's great. It's really good. Just whether it's on Steam or PS Vita or 3DS or Wii U, just go check it out. It's great.
I've heard people talk really good about the Vita version, which is kind of surprising to hear people go like, "Oh yeah, this game's great on Vita." It's like, wow, a reason to pick it up. Great.
Oh yeah. And finally, it's not really a game or anything, but I got a bug up my ass to start making my own RPG. So I've been doing a lot of stuff in RPG Maker VX Ace. And if you have any idea, any inclination to ever make an RPG, just go with RPG Maker VX Ace. It is the best way to make an RPG if you have absolutely no coding skill.
I've been wanting to make Flash Sentry's waifu stealing adventure, so it would be an accurate place to do it.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great place to do it.
Just travel around and just be like, "Oh, hi, female. I'm going to be smarmy to you, and you are suddenly going to be mine." Nah,
tips plus one fedora.
Yeah. No, my story is basically I crossed My Little Pony with Lovecraft's The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath. So, if you've ever read The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, you know that's a great storyline, isn't it? Even though it's completely unfinished.
It's like Lovecraft tried to write The Hobbit.
Yeah, it's like Lord of the Rings by H.P. Lovecraft. It's great. So it's like
they break out in the song a lot.
No, there's no singing.
There's no singing. Aww. There's a lot of weird zombies that don't look like zombies at all. That look more like dogs that talk in a sing-song voice.
And there are lots of talking ancient cats.
Oh yeah, lots of cats. If you are a fan of cats, Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath is like your book to read, because there's cats everywhere, and there's a cat army that has cat lieutenants and cat sergeants.
And they live on the moon.
And they live on the and Saturn.
Yes.
No, actually, they live on the moon, but they also live on Saturn. But the cats from Saturn are evil.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Moon
cats are cool. Saturn cats are evil.
Just jerks all around. Don't purchase a Saturn cat. So,
and also, this is gonna actually be kind of funny when I get to this point in the RPG, because the character you play as is a little OC pony, but there's a part in the story where the main character in the story has to ride across this desert, and he hires a zebra. So
he's riding
on a zebra. So I'm like trying to figure out. I was like, okay, is this little pony gonna be riding on the zebra? And are people gonna say that's racist or
yes,
what?
It is. I'm horribly offended at this moment.
Well, and then it's actually really funny in the story, because it's like he rides across this desert and he ties up the zebra, so because he's gonna camp out for the night, and then he gets kidnapped by these flying creatures that take him to this giant planet-sized graveyard. Again, this is all in the dream world, so any ideas of physics or time or any ideas you have don't apply. So they basically take it to a planet-sized graveyard.
Then just make it a comically large zebra. Just like obviously a fictionally large, like 20-foot tall zebra. Be like, of course I could carry you.
Yeah, and it's really funny because so basically the zebra is abandoned, and then like towards the end of the book, end of the story, the main character goes like, I wonder what ever happened to that zebra I tied up in that desert, because it's like that the zebra's just completely abandoned, and then it's like you completely forget about it, and then the main character is like, I wonder what ever happened to that zebra. Oh well,
just a split screen. It's just sitting out there eating a sandwich. Well, whatever. I guess we'll be back some point.
Yeah. So RPG VX Ace is a great piece of software to use if you want to make an RPG and you have absolutely no idea how to code. Though it actually has a really powerful scripting tool set that uses Ruby. So if you do need to code some stuff, the tools are there, but it's not required. Also, there's a massive online community that you can go to for tutorials and tips and support as well.
Nice.
It's a really, really awesome.
Cool deal. Roger, what things have you been consuming?
I've been kind of like preoccupied with my new job, but I play a lot of tabletop war games.
Do you?
Oh yeah, way more than I should. I've been working on that a lot. I'm sure there's people out there who play Warhammer 40,000. Because I hate myself, I'm getting into that game. A couple other things like that. But
which faction?
Grey Knights.
Fucking infantry, Imperial infantry.
Oh my God! Please don't get in. Like they're new.
God! It's starting. It's starting.
They got. I get in the game just as they get completely shafted by their new codex. Like their new codex is awful. It's literally we added nothing new. We just kind of balanced some numbers and made most things worse.
Well, I mean, despite all that, this is actually a pretty exciting time to get into Warhammer 40K because, according to the lore, the Golden Throne is broken, so the Emperor might die.
Yeah, I think they actually started like, okay, after 20 years of this game, we're going to advance the plot.
Yeah, finally, it's just that's what I'm waiting for. Is like, what exactly is going to happen once the Emperor dies?
Nothing good.
Yeah, nothing good. But I'm still
it's just Game of Thrones X96.
Except there's only one throne that matters is the problem. But
literally, it's like this massive trillion planet sized empire with quintillion humans is all dependent on one person, the Emperor.
Well, yeah, everything about the as much as some problems with the game, I really like the universe because it's just totally ridiculous and over the top, and everything about it is amazingly metal.
Oh yeah. If you ever wonder where the term grimdark comes from, it comes from Warhammer 40K because it's like there's no happiness in this entire universe. Yeah, everything is just sad and miserable.
I my favorite is the description of most Space Marine armies is it would just be explained in the Nathan Explosion voice. It's like
pretty much.
We're gonna fly across the galaxy in a spaceship that looks like a cathedral. And then we teleport down to the surface and have a sword fight with aliens. And this happens forever.
Yeah, and the planet's infested with orcs, so we're going to call an exterminatus and just destroy the planet because you can't get rid of orcs.
Yeah.
And these are real orcs, not Warcraft orcs. These are real orcs that are fungus, are living fungus.
So yeah, I've been getting into that, but it's not really in the purview of the podcast. So
it's one of those things. I when you brought up the Grey Knights, I was like, "Oh, what's that about? Let me go check it out." And I found the Warhammer wiki and discovered 30 pages on the Grey Knights.
Yeah, that's roughly normal.
This universe is so stupid dense.
There's actually, I'm gonna add onto your cool shit. There's a YouTube channel that people should, if people are interested in the lore of Warhammer 40K but don't want to dive into the wiki or the codexes, there's a YouTube channel called the Vaults of Terra, which basically just gives a cliff notes about various aspects of the Warhammer 40K universe. Like who the Emperor is, why is he entombed in the Golden Throne, who are the Imperial Guards that Emdefmek just talked about, who the fuck are the Grey Knights? It's
all the tough questions.
Yes, all the tough questions.
All the things you need to spend your waking hours answering.
Yeah.
The other game I just recently I'm getting into is it was a game that was kickstarted and got 5 times as much money as they needed initially, and it's a historical game called By Fire and Sword. I should just link to it. So this one's microphone. So beyond that, for my actual thing I wanted to post was there's a podcast called How Did This Get Made? and it's on Earwolf. If anyone ever subscribes to other ones, let me send it to the chat. It's a podcast, and it's 3 comedians, which you might have seen in other places, and they'll watch a bad movie, and the podcast is them kind of talking about it, and they'll kind of roughly go through the plot, and they always have a guest, and they get pretty good guests on there. So they've done The Room, in which they got the guy who played Mark. They've done a whole bunch of other stuff. They're really good. If you've ever seen Paul Scheer or Jason Mantzoukas in other stuff, they're all on this podcast. It's absolutely fantastic. Especially if you it's a little it's not for everyone, but
well, it's also kind of almost like a book club for bad movies, because they just go like, okay, we're going to watch Daddy Daycare next, so just like, or we're going to go watch Jingle All the Way, and just finding all these really terrible movies.
Well, they do movies that are bad, but they're not like, usually they're not super obscure. They're movies that came out in theaters, or that even some of them that were very popular, and they kind of try to answer like who the hell made this movie? And I think a little while back, I think one of the best things they did was they did like a double feature, a night of Hulkamania. And it was like if you go check out this podcast, listen to the episode where they do the Hulk Hogan movie No Holds Barred. Is like this thing? It's the best thing. One of probably my favorite episode. The other one is they do that movie Demolition Man.
A good bad movie.
Oh yeah, I've actually seen Demolition Man. It's very watchable for how terrible it is.
I think you mean the greatest movie ever from the '90s. Especially if you watch the British version, because Taco Bell doesn't exist in the UK, so they ham-fisted Pizza Hut into it.
Pizza Hut. Yeah, no. I love their description of Demolition Man is like this like alternate future, and it's like in the future we all dress like Nazis and everyone is a total wolf.
I love how I because that's in like 2032. My favorite was like, even when it came out, it was set in the future. Yeah. It was set in the future, post-apocalyptic Los Angeles of like 1999, and like the police are driving around in armored Humvees.
Yeah, no, I think there was a cracked article about it, and I've seen I think there was a BuzzFeed one too, and it was like things that Demolition Man correctly predicted.
Well, it's actually, that prediction was actually correct. They were just 15 years ahead of their time.
They were way ahead of. They predicted iPads. And
oh yeah.
This one is great because you get to see Wesley Snipes and his cinematic tour de force.
His snipeists.
I love how the in the commentary for it, if you get the DVD or the Blu-ray for it, in the commentary they actually talk about the 3 shells.
3 shells.
And they actually explain it, and it's literally like there is no special way. They're like, no, you take 2 seashells and you pull the poo out of your butt, and you use the 3rd one to scrape the residue off. Oh. And it's like, that's exactly what I thought it was going to be, but I thought you were going to be more clever.
They talked about that in the podcast. They were like, how does that better? Because now you have to clean like the shit out of these seashells. And they're talking about like no, there was nothing about toilet paper that was causing violence in our society. Why did we need to switch this? Yeah, that episode
for Mafia.
Episode has their guest is Wyatt Cenac from, if you've seen him on the Daily Show, and he's fantastic in that one, especially when they talk about the creepy weird mind sex scene in that movie. And there's spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Demolition Man, she is totally Stallone's daughter.
Oh.
They know that 100%. So
that's terrible.
It's all in there in the movie. It's all in there. But yeah, so I recommend this podcast highly, especially if you're into stuff like Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks. It's the same vein, even though it's them. They're not doing a commentary on the movie. They're just talking about it.
All right, sounds like we got that. So we got plenty of stuff that we've been doing this week. So let's go ahead and jump in over here. We got some news for the week. General nerd news, important society news. Unfortunately, the summer of comedic loss continues for us, ladies and gentlemen, because 1933 to 2014 is the day in lives of Joan Rivers.
I know literally nothing about her or what she's done.
I unfortunately do too.
I gonna have to be in the same boat.
I mean,
this was productive.
Well, I mean, but she definitely was around. She was part of just that tour de force, like the 60s and 70s era, just on Carson all the time. You know, just a classic comedian and dirty as hell. Like,
yeah. To me, she was that really witty and quirky lady who always did the red carpet thing.
Mm-hmm. And that's unfortunately like the later lives is always just like, oh, look at that dress, like, you know, it's just like, oh, unfortunately, you got to make a paycheck. But
I mean, she was funny on it. She was really funny on it. But I mean, yeah, it's like she didn't have that presence that Robin Williams had. You know, and just like, because, yeah, for most of us, like with Robin Williams, is like he was in all these movies that we were old enough to go and watch, and he just remained relevant for so much longer. And like for Joan Rivers, it was like, you know, she had her golden moment, and then she went and did the red carpet thing, and that's how I knew her as the lady who did the commentary for the red carpet at these award shows.
Yeah, Rusty's saying, had someone said Joan Rivers is to comedy what Margaret Thatcher was to politics.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's actually probably really accurate, because that could mean she's either the greatest thing to ever come to comedy or the worst, depending on your viewpoint.
We'll let you decide.
Yeah, well,
but the answer is the latter.
Yeah, it was. She was one of those people that was very. Like almost funny and abrasive at the same time. She very, very much, and let's be honest, one of the females of comedy back in the time where that did not happen.
That's true. Yeah,
you know, it was one of those times where she was one of the innovators of actually having female comedians, which is still very much a niche, very much you know, you don't see it.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta give her props for that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so you know, I believe that was 71. She died from complications of throat surgery. So you know, one of those just like unfortunate. I've seen a lot of like weird medical problems of just like she went in for something unrelated, but then this said person got infected and died. It's like, boy, that sucks that you doctors couldn't fix that when that wasn't a problem to begin with. Yeah. Onward to other stuff. We've had PAX Prime. We've had Dragon Con. We've had a bunch of conventions that have rolled around. A lot of silliness. Now, links are in the show note to both. PAX Prime, seeing a bunch of video games. I caught a lot of the Giant Bomb stuff that happened during those weeks and really wished I was up in Seattle to go check them out.
I really wish I was there as well, because something else happened in the gaming community that really drowned, unless you specifically were paying attention to PAX Prime and Dragon Con, this thing that happened in the gaming community completely drowned everything else out.
Oh, there's a lot of noise, that's for sure.
Yeah, so it's like I knew these cons were going on, but I didn't hear anything about it because everybody was talking about this other thing. And yeah, I made a statement yesterday about it, and I'm just going, and now I'm playing like catch up. Now it's like, okay, what was talked about at PAX? What happened at PAX? Okay, I need to go and catch up now because all this other nonsense bullshit happens, and it's still going on. And
well, a lot of what looks like was at PAX. I mean, there wasn't too much that was actually super announced out there. The only thing, and this actually happened at Gamescom around the same time, I'll have it listed here, is the fact that they are going to be doing they're going to do Geometry Wars again, under the Sierra name, and that's going to be released out coming soon.
Oh shit, yeah, that's some big news there. Sierra is back in name.
Yep, it's actually a thing again.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I mean, was it under Activision or Ubisoft? I forgot.
I think it's Ubi. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I need to double check that.
Let's see. Fact checking on a podcast live. Let's see. So Era Games.
We didn't do this in advance. We're going to do it on air.
Is owned by what evil organization?
Activision. Activision.
Oh yeah, because that was the weird part about it. Because Activision is all about their big game shooter stuff, massive games, and Sierra looks like it's going to be their small studio.
It's gonna be their like what Sony Pictures has, like an indie studio, and I know Fox also had. Was it like Fox Silverlight or Fox Lighthouse or something, where it's like, oh, we're gonna put all our indie stuff here, and if it becomes really successful, we'll bring it into the proper larger studio to get all this money and everything. This is something that happens a lot. I know it's something that happens a lot in the movie industry. It's like every big studio has a indie subsidiary that handles the smaller movies. So to see that practice moving into the games industry, I think is totally normal. I don't see any problem with this.
Yeah, so it's going to be Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions, and also it is going to have a mode in which it is a 3-dimensional spinning cube that you are playing on.
Oh,
so,
I'm sold.
Yeah, so
there you go.
It'll have it'll be good. I actually didn't play the first as much, but I had a friend that was absolutely insane for the first Geometry Wars. And the second Geometry Wars, I recalled spending many, many hours doing that damn the pacifist mode, just trying to rack up points in that, and that was insane. Yeah, it's a really, really good game. I'll be interested to see. And probably did some of the best, like, competitive, just like, hey, you beat your friend. By the way, this other friend, here's their high score, and it's going to sit at the top of your screen until you beat it. It's like, ooh, God, make it rough. So yeah, had that Dragon Con listed inside of here. Just a lot of Dragon Con. Patrick Stewart being the big draw for that convention, and just a ton of costumes, and all that listed in the show notes there, so you can check that out. Moving into game news, is this more just a great deal? Or is this just Xbox stating it's in trouble? Because right now, you, for the next few weeks, can get a free game with purchase. Any game. Even Destiny. Please buy an Xbox.
Wait, Destiny?
You can buy any game for free. Buy an Xbox One and choose a game for free.
Yeah, because it's like, packing games aren't exactly a new thing, but usually the packing game, it's some... first party, or it's even like a light version. Like I remember when I bought a 360, the packing game was Forza 4, but it was like a stripped down version of Forza 4.
Yeah, Microsoft announced September 7th through 13th, coinciding with the launch of Destiny, that any retailer will be providing a free game with an Xbox One purchase. There is no stipulations on the title you choose. So you can get Madden, you can get Titanfall, Diablo, Watch Dogs, Call of Duty, Destiny. You just go, you pick up a game, you pick up a Xbone, and you pick up whatever game you want to go with it.
Well,
which is kind of
I think it doesn't show them like really in trouble. It shows them like being like, we're in second place right now, and we're about to be in third place, and this isn't good for us.
Which is, the third place is the weird part, because the Wii U is just suddenly gone like, oh crap, look at the lineup they have coming.
Yeah, it's like,
oh, smoke.
This would be interesting, but Nintendo did a Nintendo Direct a couple days ago for Bayonetta 2, and I got to see Bayonetta in a Star Fox outfit, and I'm like, okay, it's time to buy a Wii U, because Bayonetta's over there.
Got that.
She's in a Star Fox outfit, and that's the greatest thing in the world.
They've got that. They've got, Smash coming. They've got Mario Kart. They really need, as weird as it sounds to say it, they really do need to release a Mario Party for it. You know, as terrible as saying that can be. And then, yeah, all the stuff, new Zelda's coming. Like, and now you can kind of make the idea of like, okay, maybe the hardware makes sense now. You know,
Xbox has definitely realized, or Microsoft is realizing that it's like, man, we're not doing that good.
Oh, and a Mario Party is announced per Rusty Headphones. And Hyrule Warriors, Bayo 2, all those games. So they've got a lineup to it. Actually, I was looking at the like most anticipated games of like next year, and I was like, there was a single Xbox games, like 6 PlayStation games, and like 3 Wii U games. I was like, whoa, damn, okay.
I think they were banking on Titanfall, but I think that game ended up apparently not being very good.
It ended up being okay. I just think it didn't break anyone's mind.
Well, the game Titanfall is a great game. The problem is, it's like after you've played it all. There's like really no reason to go back.
Yeah, it's potentially banking on
you're not prestiging it.
Yeah, it was maybe banking a little bit on the Halo style, like, oh, they're just going to play forever. You know,
which honestly makes me kind of worried about Destiny as well. I mean, even though Bungie is promising a buttload of content for Destiny, I'm still kind of worried about it. I'm definitely not gonna be buying any consoles because of Destiny. I'll probably just, when it does come out on the PC, that's when I'll check it out.
Destiny, or go for it.
I was just saying, I'm going to remain smugly here at my PC and laugh at all of you.
Yeah, Destiny.
Well, that's why I said I got a PC as well.
Yeah.
Destiny has that weird, Destiny will do one of two things. It will be a good game that comes, and pretty much everyone that is paying attention to it will go, that was a good game, but ultimately it will be seen as a critical disappointment because it came from Bungie. Or it will be something that lights up the world. And lights it up in a way that, you know, it's going to be like, oh yeah, of course they were going to do good.
The way you say that, though, it's just like, light up the world and it will be world peace.
Well, but what I mean is like, oh man, it's Destiny, like everybody's playing this now. It's like an MMO for consoles, but it's actually like really decent and good, and that, you know, it has that 4-player co-op, and then there's these like group mission raid things. Like it actually does, if it lives up to the hype and does the things that it says it does, it is akin to actually having an MMO for your console.
Well, that's always the camper, isn't it? Like, will it live up to what they said it would?
Sometimes.
Wait for sometimes, but you know.
But everybody's looking at, because it's Bungie, and Bungie has a really damn good track record.
Well, see, the thing with that is, like, even after Bungie disconnected from Microsoft and Halo, I'm trying to remember, did 343 Studio make a Halo game yet? I don't follow the Halo franchise at all, so I'm not too sure if 343 Industries is... Okay, yeah, they did Halo Reach and Halo 4, and weren't those successful? I mean, even though Bungie wasn't involved in those?
Yeah, no, they were considered good games. I think that they decided that for the next one they're going to... that it deviated a little much, and that they're going to go back to the well a little bit before. I'm missing is saying that Bungie did Reach. Oh boy, they're screaming it now. Oh no.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Jeez, got some Halo fans in here.
I'm going to hurt you.
But see, the thing what I'm trying to get at with that is, like, if it speaks to me more that Halo was a good franchise, and not so much that Bungie... I mean, Bungie had a hit with Halo, and it's a good franchise that's able to keep going, even with Bungie not being in the picture. So that's what's kind of making me wonder if like, they can have another hit on their hands. I mean, I don't want to see anybody fail, but it's like, you know, having two hits and one after the other is extremely rare.
Yeah, Halo 4 was the 343 game. And yeah, I think it was a good game. I think it just may have been a little bit different because it's just like, Covenant. Oh, wait, now this is other things. It's like, it's not the Flood, it's just some other thing.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely wish for the best for Destiny. I hope that when it comes out on the consoles, it's a hit, because when it does come out on the PC, it's like then I can be excited to play for it when it comes out on the PC, because that's what happened with GTA 5. It's like GTA 5 was an incredible hit on PS3 and 360, and it's like, now it's coming out for the PC and the Xbox One and the PS4, and those versions are all going to be the same. They're all going to be just are going to be updated and remastered and just look incredible. And I can't wait for that. That's just, because it's just like, fuck yeah, PC gaming, hell yeah, PC Master Race.
It's been doing good. I actually had to go in and onto my PlayStation because somehow I got subscribed to Music Unlimited for the past few months. I was like, how the hell did this happen? Go in there, unsubscribe. Notice my Xbox was on. I was like, well, let me turn you off again. But yeah, I haven't been using it at all.
Did you mean to get a PlayStation Plus subscription and got the wrong one?
No, I had a Plus for a while. I just think somehow I have no clue. I think I may have opened up Music Unlimited once, and it's just like, oh, good, sign him up now. There he is, get him. It's like
that's what almost happened to me with Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah,
I almost signed up for Kindle Unlimited, and I went and looked, and was like, you don't have any books I want to read. All right, later.
Yeah, it was. I almost think it was something like when you get a link from a friend and you're just like, oh, what's this about? Click. Oh, God, no. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to. Oh, God. No. Oh, great. Now I've got hair care products being shipped to me. I was like, great. Thanks. Let's see. As for other game news and on to more Xbox news, maybe this is. The joke is that Xbox gets a Doctor Who and Minecraft, a.k.a. they're going to have Doctor Who-based avatars and characters that you can use in Minecraft, to which I say...
Just to make everything a million times more obnoxious.
Well, and also to say something that the PC has been able to do forever. It's like, oh, hey, I can have a character that looks like, Doctor Who.
Can I craft a TARDIS?
I bet you could. TARDIS? I think that's one of the things that they're doing special for it, is that they actually will have a TARDIS made by Mojang is going to be part of it, so...
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and wait for Minecraft for the PS Vita, because portable Minecraft sounds like something I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. Marvel is going to reprint the Dark Horse Star Wars comics, even though the Dark Horse comics are going to be, well, pretty much shelved at the end of the year. Marvel is doing a big compendium of some of their bigger runs. I know that was a big concern for a lot of people. Like, oh no, they're going to completely destroy them. It's like, well, they're going to reprint them, and they've at least had a little bit of loving attention put to them. So,
well, I mean, the all this is going to be. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to punch the mic. All this stuff is going to be shelved anyway. This is actually pretty good, because it's like, well, it's being shelved, but at least they're gonna, I guess, in a way, honor it as existing. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're no longer gonna be, using all of this. Our expanded universe is pretty much bunk, but hey, we'll put this out and be like, hey, we at least remember this. This was a thing we did for, 30 years?
People really, really loved, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, well, at least they're like sending it out to pasture with some bit of dignity and grace, and as a great way to make some money.
Let's see. They also stated something that for the Xbox that they bumped up the map sizes to 5210 by 5210.
So something my PC could do already?
Yeah, still not PC levels. Still not the
PC gaming wins
ridiculous.
again.
Oh! Yep.
Damn you, Java! You crashed again.
Let's see. Other stuff we got here. If you want to make some money off of Lego, well, 4 adults were arrested in Arizona for stealing $200,000 worth of Lego.
So they basically just like stole 500 of those giant kits that cost like $300.
Let's see. What they were accused of removing the theft detection devices from the Lego sets, causing damage to the packaging. In most instances, they put the Lego sets in either large gift bags or in shopping carts or inside shopping carts, then covered them with gift bags. Suspects would then flee the business without setting off the security alarm.
Oh my God.
Estimated $200,000, with at least $40,000 believed to have been stolen. The rest may have been purchased legitimately or obtained fraudulently. Only shows the $40,000 worth of stolen merchandise, but they did have $200,000 worth of merchandise. And supposedly, they weren't using these for fun. No. They were selling the Lego sets on the internet and also returning them to Toys R Us for a refund.
That's shady. I was about to say, if these are like really, really hard, because there are some really hardcore Lego fans out there. It's like, if these are hardcore Lego fans, then I salute them. But no, these guys are just assholes.
They're just.
I was gonna say if they made like a life-size Jaeger or something, like okay, that was pretty cool.
Oh shoot! A life-size Jaeger, just all of a sudden driving around in the desert and there's a Lego Jaeger.
Apparently in Japan, somebody's trying to make a life-size Gundam that's supposed to be functional.
Yeah, supposed to. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are supposed to.
I was just wondering, Apple, this guy actually kind of reminds me of the whole returning them to Toys R Us stores for a refund. Were you listening to Kevin Smith's podcast like way, way back in the day, like in 2008, 2009, when he was talking to his friend who owned the comic book shop?
He's talked to him a few times, but go ahead and talk about what you're referencing, because I may not have heard that one.
Okay, well, they own the comic book store, and well, you know, the people who go to comic book stores tend to only go to a comic book store. They're not the type of people who will just like be like, oh, I can actually buy this figurine at Toys R Us or Suncoast for a lower price. Rather than just go, you know, they just go to the comic book store and buy the markup price because they, for some reason, that's what they do. So he was talking about how like they, whenever like a new series of toys would come out, they would go out to like Toys R Us and Suncoast and Target and Walmart and just buy up their stock, then mark the prices up and then sell them from the comic book store. And to make this really dirty, anything that didn't sell,
they just return, right?
They'd return. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And Kevin, and this was back when Jason Mewes was going to rehab, and he was going to the methadone clinic, and Kevin Smith was taking him to the methadone clinic, and afterwards, Kevin had to hang out with Jason for a while afterwards, so they would actually go out and buy the toys and then go and return the toys because I gave Jason something to do. And it's like, man, that is some really shady shit right there.
Here is Jay and Silent Bob rolling around purchasing sets at a local Toys R Us so that they can go and
mark it up at the secret stash.
Yeah,
that's what the next movie is going to be, right?
No, actually. The next movie, which is actually listed here, is Yoga Hosers, which is now in production. So Tusk is out or going to be out, which is actually part of his True North trilogy of horror films set in the mythical land of Canada.
Oh, man. I heard about Canada.
It's a weird place. I've been to 2 different spots of Canada. It always feels like an alternate U.S. where people went nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of Canadians down here in the States sometimes. They're weird.
Yeah.
They're nice to you.
And the weird stuff about these movies is that they're all stuff that happened on his podcast. Like the whole Tusk story is off of a letter that he read on his podcast and just got infatuated about, and then made a movie about.
Nice.
You know, he found there was this. The basis was there was this Craigslist posting of this weird guy that you know, had been a sailor for a long, long time and just had a friend that was a walrus. And, you know, he just wanted somebody to pretend to be a walrus at his house. And, you know, he'd pay for them to stay there as long as every few days they just pretend to be a walrus for a few hours.
Nothing too weird, you know.
Man, why didn't I get this offer? I could play off as a walrus perfectly. I could just lay around and every once in a while just go,
It's going to be like that Ren and Stimpy bit where they're talking to the horse, and then he's like, "Let me ask the walrus," and he pulls out the walrus, and the walrus goes, "Call the police."
That may be more accurate than you think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because this is yep.
Yeah. Let me just say, I know that Kevin Smith's whole podcasting network has kind of blown up and gotten way too huge in my opinion, but yeah, those early Smodcast episodes were just amazing. Were just so awesome. I don't know if you guys listen to them.
I listen to a lot of them. I kind of come and go with Kevin Smith. It's not any like problem with it. It's just like you know, sometimes he goes off on he'll just go off on a weird giggle rant for about 30 minutes. I'm just like, where are we? Is this a show? Is this still the show? Which
yeah.
Though to be honest, I could almost say that about my own show many times.
Yeah, I was gonna say unlike this show.
Yeah, really.
See, this is a rare episode of Fandom Unlimited where he brings Emdefmek on, and all of a sudden the show's already at like 2 hours because that's what I do on the GCC.
Just keep talking. Just
keep talking. Yeah, we are heavily influenced by the Giant Bombcast.
Absolutely, and I like it like that. I like it where it's where it is just silly and going off in these weird, ridiculous tangents.
Oh yeah,
fun. But yeah, he's working on a new one, which is Yoga Hosers, which actually has Brad Pitt in it. So it's going to include a lot of the cast that he has currently for the Tusk movie, but is going to also include Brad Pitt. So
nice. Brad Pitt is a awesome actor. I really like him.
Is he a friend of yours?
I wish.
Hanging out with Brad and his hot wife. He's going like, man, you did well.
You should make another Inglourious Bastards.
You know, the funny thing about that is like, well, how would you? But then you just go like, oh wait, it's Inglourious Bastards. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's like, oh, they gotta go to Japan now. Oh wait, that would be. Actually, no, never mind. If Inglourious Bastards was set in Japan, it would just be like, wow, this is horribly racist. I mean,
there's something about Nazis that they're like the one group we can like unequivocally they're the bad guys.
Yeah, that's the whole weird thing. Everybody complained about how all World War II shooters were all the same, and it's like, well, that actually really makes sense because if you go when they actually did try to go over to the Pacific, like in Rising Storm or World at War, it was like, wow, this is just really terrible and racist.
I don't know. I thought that the way that Battlefield 1942 did, I think they did a good job. But that was to the point that you weren't following one side, you were following both sides.
Yeah. Whereas it's like with World at War, it's like to be honest here, they emulated what the Japanese army's tactics pretty well, and it's like that's what the Japanese soldiers did scream banzai and did go on suicidal runs. And it's like that did actually happen, but it's just our perception of it and just how we view Japan now. That just comes out, even though that is true, that did happen. It just comes off as really uncomfortable and offensive.
Well, that's why tangentially I just finished playing every level and expansion for the original Wolfenstein 3D.
Great!
120 levels of Wolfenstein 3D.
Wow. I still need to check out that new Wolfenstein game. I have it. I got it in a Steam sale, and I really want to check it out because I I watched a full Let's Play of it. Jesse Cox over on YouTube did a full Let's Play of it, and I watched the entire thing, and I came out of it like, man, I really want to play this game.
It looks like
really
a damn
bad.
good game.
Yeah, it looks good. If you want to like nerd out about it, tweet something at Kefka Floyd.
No, he's the biggest.
He's the resident. Yeah, he's the resident. Like, knows more about Wolfenstein even than I.
Yeah.
Tell me about the sphere. Let me tell me about the weird. Was that the Spear of Destiny? Like, okay, here you go.
I just did that. I played all like Spear of Destiny, and then both of the weird like obscure map packs for Spear of Destiny.
The one Wolfenstein game I want to find, and I wish I got it on Steam before it was pulled down, is the weird 2009 Wolfenstein game.
I've heard that one is really bad.
I still want to check it out, though.
All I know is that
Castle Wolfenstein's good.
All I know is that with the 2009 game, there was some sort of like center hub and some sort of weird occult like goo guns and stuff like that.
Well, apparently, there's like two versions of Wolfenstein. There's the occult, the weird occult stuff, and then there's the more traditional mechanical stuff. Like the newest Wolfenstein,
Sci-tech.
Yeah, sci-tech. There's the occult and the sci-tech, and the newest Wolfenstein game follows like the sci-tech route, and the 2009 version went the occult routes. Because I thought that the newest game was going to go down the occult route, but they kind of edged towards there, and then they pulled it back as like, no, this is actually an ancient society that worships technology and just researches everything to an incredible level, and that's how they have all this incredible technology and power.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why I like Return to Castle Wolfenstein, because it does both. So one level you're fighting zombies, another one you're fighting like Nazi cyborgs,
and then the next level you're fighting the weird Teutonic Knight or whatever.
Well, there's segments that are fairly like down to earth, and the very end you literally do get to fight Nazi zombie cyborgs. Always a good combination.
Factual, very factual.
Yeah, no, it's very true to life.
Yeah, it's what they had to do when they were storming Berlin. It's just all these. They learned about EMPs then, you know.
See, I will say as much for Wolfenstein 3D. The end of the third episode, you do finally get to fight Hitler, and yes, he is in a robot suit with Gatling guns.
He is.
Yep.
And then he melts when you kill him for some reason.
Yeah.
Because metal melts when it's shot enough.
Missing Ponies posting links to crossovers between My Little Pony and Warhammer 40K.
Oh boy.
And they're really cute. You know, actually, this is going to sound really stupid, but I used to have like this lurking... It was something that I would think about a lot just because I like to daydream, but I always, when I really got into the lore of Warhammer 40K, I always thought in the back of the mind, what if we're just like an undiscovered planet? What if Earth is just an undiscovered planet, and any day now the Imperium could discover us, and then all of a sudden we're just forced into this horrible universe?
Oh no! In the lore, Earth is the like capital.
Yes, well, because you know in the lore, there's like planets that have been so disconnected from the rest of human society that they forget that there is a larger society out there. They just think they've always... So that's what I'm thinking is like, what if we just think we've been on this planet for millions of years, and what if it's like, oh, what if we're actually just a colony, and in any year now the Imperium will discover us, and then we'll be forced to go back into this horrible... We'll be forced to go into this horrible Imperium.
It'll be grindcore metal all the time.
Oh yeah. I can't wait for my chainsaw guns.
All right, well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and roll this forward with the segment that I know so many of you have been waiting on since the beginning of the show. This is the Josh Buy Me Things. This is the list of things that Starry/Sabrina, my girlfriend, has been combing the internet during the show for stuff that she wants me to purchase.
I see she deleted all the stuff I put up there.
I guess so. She doesn't want you buying bug things.
Yeah.
So, let's see, what do we got here? We got a Ghost Without Saying oven mitt.
Honey, I know you got your paycheck.
I know you got paid this week, so purchase me an oven mitt that looks like a ghost.
Honey, I know we got a joint account, so don't lie to me.
I know where the money's going. Yeah, so let's see. An oven mitt that looks like a yellow ghost. All right. Next off, we have a mod cloth brown plush Cyclops.
Oh! Hang on. Starry.
He's saying Starry.
Starry, there's something you need to check out. If you like plushies, you definitely... Oh, hell, where the hell's the Skype chat? You definitely need to take a look at this. It's only available at the Tokyo Game Show, and it will never be available anywhere else.
All right, he's going to give you a link that is something that can only be seen at the Tokyo Game Show.
Or bought at the Tokyo Game Show.
Oh,
I just put the link in the chat, and in the chat.
All right, hold on. I'll forward that to her so that she can scream.
It is, and I'm pretty sure
it is pretty good.
It is super cute. It is super cute. Hopefully, she's a fan of Sega.
Oh no, Sega.
Don't worry, AC. Don't worry,
you're a fan of Sega.
Don't worry, Apple. It's not.
No. That's a Master System. Oh, these are little plush Game Gears and plush toys.
Yeah,
they are cute. Hold on.
But it's in Japan, so they're not actually Genesis. They're Sega, the little plush Sega Mega Drives.
Oh, so
known as the Sega Genesis here in the US.
They're so kawaii.
And apparently you can only get them at in a Game Gear pencil bag. Apparently you can only get them at the Tokyo Game Show.
All right, so only at the Tokyo Game Show, so you can't get one.
Yeah.
So, all right, so that animal there. Let's see. Next up, she wants like white cat ears, Lolita maid lace headband, kitty ears with white ribbons, fur set, costume cosplay party for $21. She wants me to buy her a ball jointed pony adult base. Which they are cool. They're also $85.
Yeah, this is actually really cool.
And posable too. I guess that's the crazy thing.
Hey, how much is that?
$85.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean,
that's a bit rich for my blood.
A little rich.
Well, I mean, it's well made, and it's like, yeah, all you have to do is just go and just paint it however you want.
And they can do stuff for like hair rooting. They can custom and everything. So they've got some of that listed on there if you want. So they got that. Let's see what else. Wicked Witch, bookmark, children gift, Wizard of Oz, red slippers. It appears that the Wicked Witch of the East is now part of your book and got squished in it.
That's pretty cute.
So
that looks like something that my grandma would have.
That seems like a good one. And then finally, the Star Wars glowing lightsaber ice pop maker. You need to read your what?
Okay, when I make my own little blurbs, when I link them, so you need to
where are your little blurbs? Okay, all right, here we go. So now I see there's the blurbs, and this is what
Starry wants to see you, AC, suck on the lightsaber.
All right, yes, it is. Why, yes, I would love to see you suck on that lightsaber. Yeah. Tee hee hee. For those, she says, a book a day keeps the Wicked Witch away. Make your own Alicorn BJD doll, kawaii ears of Desu, Cyclops plushie of cuteness, and ghost mittens of doom. There you go. That is the Josh Buy Me Things segment. You can find all the links in the show note at BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com. And now it's time to one cool thing, this sucker. So let's do this. Your coffee table. I know that right now the coffee table lines up so it looks like that there's a yellow platform and an arrow pointed towards me on the show. I'm totally aware of this. All right. The thing that's been going crazy and driving everything nuts this past week is the Pony Drama Simulator. If you have not seen it, where have you been? You have not been paying attention. I will read you some of these. And I put my name in, but I have no clue if my name's actually shown up yet. Much to everyone's surprise, Silly Philly Studios outbid Hot Diggity Demon at Equestria LA's charity auction to win a one-of-the-kind DJ Pawn 3 body pillow. Next. Dusty Cat and Dusty Cat hold coming out panel at Nightmare Night. Stefan Andrew officiates. Attendees throw swag at them.
Oh, that is happening.
All right, let me see what I can find some. Silverhound's song about Dinky Hoos was remixed by Dusty Cat into a song about Jay Wyman's pony meme. Okay, not that great.
Dave Polsky realized Granny Smith is too much like Spitfire and decided to kill one of them.
Let's see. Meriwether Williams caught stealing Earth ponies at Nightmare Nights, reports Equestria Daily. That's relevant. See, Peter New caught stealing dragons at Nightmare Nights, reports Derpy Who's News.
Nightmare Nights invited M.A. Larson but ran out of cease and desists and had to cancel.
Let's see. Screw Loose leaked nudes of Zakora on Horse News.
What, did they find a picture of that or earrings on or something? The hell is that?
Let's see. Dave Polsky realized Zakora is too much like Flutter Guy and decided to kill one of them.
Oh man, Andy Price angry about Haybuck's Flutterdash ship fic, writes TMNT crossover fic, kills everyone. Which is funny since TMNT is part of IDW.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. This is my last one. Flash Sentry stole Dusty Cat's waifu and made Dinky Hooves cry.
See, but that actually happened.
Yes, that's why. Let's see.
It's like a stop clock is right twice a day kind of thing.
Yeah. Some of it's kind of nonsense, but a lot of these are pretty good.
I liked Pixel Kitty's one that I retweeted. So.
Nice.
Let's see. Yeah, but you should check that out. There's people keep adding things to it, so there's a billion things inside of it. Nightmare Night shows up a lot. Hold on. Screw Loose and hashtag the Savory now officially dating. John Delancey angry because that was their waifu. What is the Savory, by the way? Because you have it in the name, in your name.
Oh, I had it in my name on Twitter. That happened after DraftCon up in Minneapolis, and I honestly couldn't tell you what happened to cause that because I don't remember. But yeah, a lot of musicians and artists have Savory at the start of their name, and I can't tell you. I don't remember. I legitimately don't remember what it means or why we did it. Actually, I'll just go to maybe Urban Dictionary will help me remember. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Used to describe a situation, person, object, or anything else that is cool. Usually accompanied by hand motion in which the hand is kept as though holding a crystal ball with the palm facing up and the fingers are wiggled.
Yeah, Juva's saying mentions DraftCon. Yeah, just like how Nightmare Night's a SandyCon.
Yeah.
It's who you might as well start calling BabsCon SoniaCon.
Yeah, might as well.
Who is in charge is who it is. All right, so that's Mind Pony Drama Simulator, ponydrama.com. Check it out if you haven't been doing it all week already. Emdefmek, what do you got?
Okay, well, hopefully most of you people are clues of what's been happening. A lot of bullshit and drama in the gaming community, in the gaming subgenre, subculture, which is basically a bunch of scandal and nonsense happened, which has put the traditional gaming press up against and several developers against the gaming community, and there's a lot of backlash and fighting on Twitter and elsewhere. And it's basically come out that, like, hey, sites like Polygon, sites like Rock Paper Shotgun, Gamasutra, Kotaku especially, because they were in the middle of it, It's like, hey, these sites really aren't that trustworthy because, well, they have openly admitted to taking favors from various indie developers and have vested interests in various Kickstarters and Patreons. And hey, when they were exposed, when this was all outed and exposed, instead of apologizing, instead of like, rolling back or doing anything to stop it, they just turned around and said, well, you know what? All you gamers are misogynist, neckbeard, white nerds living in your parents' basement. And that basically was like was like a nuclear explosion setting off. So there's a massive backlash against these sites, and people are like, well, I don't trust Polygon anymore. I don't trust Kotaku. Well, I don't see why anybody would ever trust Kotaku, even before this. Or I don't trust Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Where can I go to get gaming news and commentary and opinions and stuff like that about video games? And this is a picture that's been compiled by members of the gaming community of places and people you can go to that actually write for gamers, that actually care about the people who are that know their readership and know that they need to treat you with some respect, and that's what they promise to do. So you have sites like Gamenesia, Gainsnosh, Nintendo Life, Blues News, Niche Gamer, and also a lot of great YouTubers such as Total Biscuit, JonTron, Boogie2988, The Gaming Brits, The Best Gamers, Super Best Friends Play. It's like if you're sick and tired of being treated like garbage by the likes of Polygon and the writers for those guys, and you're sick of being fed biased, possibly corrupt bullshit, just go check these guys out. They might have what you need. They also put the Escapist on here. The Escapist was sort of in the shit with the other ones, but the owner of the Escapist has made it very clear that he is instituting a code of ethics and an edict that he will require all of his writers for the Escapist to follow if they wish to continue writing for the Escapist. He said he's working on it. It hasn't been implemented yet, so the Escapist is kind of on there with an asterisk. So just be warned of that. So that's my cool thing.
All right, go check that out. That the image that he has there of all the sites, it looks like a Tumblr image, is listed in the show notes, and you can go catch that over at the site. All right, Roger, what do you have here?
Okay, this is just a musical push out here. So if anyone has played the game Hotline Miami, you've heard this guy's music before. His artist name is Perturbator. He's a French artist. He did a bunch of the songs on Hotline Miami. His stuff is fantastic.
Oh god, this guy is awesome.
He's amazing. If you like electronic stuff, anything, it's fantastic. It's very kind of retro. There's kind of an informal genre called new retro wave, and so it's like modern made electronic music with kind of that kind of thing, but with a very retro 80s feel. Perturbator in particular is very dark and noir, and he's like, so anything involving Blade Runner or 80s horror movies, he'll do music that's kind of themed after that. His new album came out just recently. It is like, blow down the walls amazing. Everything on it is fantastic. I'm just raving about it, so you can check it out. You can listen to the album for free right there. You can buy individual tracks and stuff. I would say my two favorite tracks off of it are Raw Power and the title track, Dangerous Days. It's super slick, incredibly well put together. Lots of all sorts of depth and interesting stuff to it. It's very fast paced and intense, and has a lot of. It's just well crafted. It's awesome. So I'd recommend checking it out. If anyone who likes electronic music, who likes retro 80s anything, this is what you're looking for.
All right.
I have to say, like, there are a lot of French electronic artists that have been putting out really good stuff in the past 4 or 5 years. It's like, Perturbator, and then you have the other guy, Gasaffelstein. he did one of his tracks was I think in a recent X-Men movie. It's like, damn, France has been hitting it out of the park when it comes to electronic music. That's great.
So, yeah. There's a whole group of artists. If anyone's seen that movie Drive, which you really should, because that movie's amazing. The opening song is done by Kavinsky, who's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to tack another link onto here because
Okay, do it.
there's another art. These two artists are my favorite in the kind of new retro genre. Laserhawk. It's a guy out of Austin. His stuff is unbelievable. He has three albums. Each is kind of themed, has a different like 80s theme to it. So his first album is called Redline, and it's like it sounds like car racing. His second album is called Visitors, and it's very like sci-fi alien abduction. And his just newest one that came out is called Skull and Shark, and it's like an action horror movie theme. So yeah, I put the link there. These are both on Bandcamp, so you can download them however it pays through PayPal. I definitely recommend checking it out.
All right, good deal. All right, and that's going to take care for this long show. Thanks, Emdefmek, for that.
Bring my best.
Of FU.
We're always looking out for you.
I know, you're doing your best. And you're going to be back here next week, Rodger.
Oh yeah, I'll be back there. I can watch the cat and make sure it doesn't break anything.
I know, and we'll probably do it just because there's been so little news and so little stuff, and we've been doing FU. We'll probably, if you're able to do it, let's do it at noon. So noon next week on Sunday, we'll do tabletop with all the fixins, all the people, and we will do that over this, and you guys can play with us, and we can enjoy all of the crazy fun of doing the My Little Pony tabletop. Rodger, I suppose you'll be here in person.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll have Sandy and Pixel across the internet playing with us, as well as we do another one of our Savage World of My Little Pony games.
I'll be arriving there in my creepy van.
Oh yeah, in your maximum creepy van, driving you and a bunch of people around in your creepy van, etc. And
another thing, without giving too much away, it's going to be painting themed.
Oh boy!
So get out, yeah. So get brushed up on your art art history chops, and
oh boy,
start cutting off your earlobes in advance.
Oh man! All right, I have to defer back to Sabrina a few times on that. Okay,
just remember, if it involves gray, guns, and weirdly sexualized women, it's probably H.R. Geiger.
Okay, done. I'll keep that in my pocket. All right, and with that, first off, let me go ahead and thank Emdefmek and Rodger for jumping in today, helping me out with without Sandy here to be silly. So thank you very much, guys.
No problem.
No problem.
And thank you all to those guests that are out there in the chat room. Hello. Thank you for coming in, watching weird videos with me, and then just being, present. Good to have you over here at streamup.com/Bronyville-podcast with a capital B and capital P. And as well, all of you that listen and download this show wherever. If you're listening over on Ponyville FM and all other spots, thank you very much. You can find us BronyShow.com, BronyvillePodcast.com, Bronyville@gmail.com is the email address, and please send us emails. We do love those. You can join us roughly every Sunday noon Pacific at streamup.com/Bronyville_podcast. iTunes reviews, we love those, so go over to iTunes, find Bronyville Podcast, and leave us a review there. That is awesome. My Twitter account is at Bronyville. Chef's is at Chef Sandy. What are your crazy Twitter account names?
You can find me at Emdefmek, EMDEFMEK, and don't worry, the hashtag Gamergate in my Twitter is probably going to be dying down because I'm just like, you know what? I just want to play video games.
I've had to mute so many people with that as of late. Just been like, oh god, let's just let it go. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, the people who are in trouble with their companies are already in trouble, and they're gonna have to pay for their consequences. We can kind of back off right now. Let's just go play some video games.
Yep.
Like good like the gamers we are.
And Roger, yours?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is @RogerPMarsh. I just posted in the chat there in case. It's generally just kind of like I'll update anything I do that's like game related or whatever, but it's mostly it's a stream of consciousness for various things I find amusing.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, one last thing. Can I plug that gaming blog I told you guys?
No, not a, yeah. Sure. What is it?
It's your chance.
It's the everygamer.net. The everygamer is all one word, 2 E's.net, and it's just a blogger site, much like what Equestria Daily is, and it's just me and a bunch of friends. We're like, hey, we kind of don't like what these other sites are doing, so hey, let's try writing about games on our own. And it's got Chef Sandy, I know, is gonna be writing up a thing, and we got like Calcos and BH Hammy and myself, and then Bullshit, and Alpha is also in there as well. And I think Five Iron might be in there as well to write up some articles. So that shit's inbound.
All right, well, good. All right, so you can go check that out. And then conventions, Sandy and I will both be at Nightmare Nights Dallas and BabsCon 2.0. So if you want to,
man,
I know,
it's gonna be sweet. Any of you are gonna be at BabsCon, I'm gonna make it out there myself. So
yep.
I always had way too much. Like, there was not nearly enough to do last time. I think we need to play some serious board games.
Sure. Tell you what, I've got one over here. Hold on, let me grab it. I want to show it for the video.
I brought it last time. We didn't get to play it. We need to. I think we should have a recorded game of Klingon Encounter.
Oh,
we need to
that
see.
would be good.
We need to see who will experience the most beige.
Experience beige. I don't know. I do have one of the best games here, the best multiplayer games that I feel. So if you guys want to play some Betrayal at House on the Hill, you not a fan?
Not a fan.
Really?
Okay, here's my thing about it.
Okay.
I like the concept is good. It works out good. I think the first part of the game is very poorly implemented.
Yes.
It's okay. So I always find like the first part of the game is boring. It's so random. I'm usually like, oh, I took a couple damage and I found like a flashlight. And it's more often than not, nothing happens in the first half.
It's literally just grabbing as much stuff as possible.
Yeah, but it's so random. It's like almost not worth it to go explore sometimes. And then my other problem with it is just from a personal perspective. I think the tiles for the game and the box look really nice, but the card art and the little like everything else about the game is like crappy. The art is bad. The cards are like have no art on them at all. The little like character cards are these goofy like pentagon shapes, and the little sliders always fall off.
Oh, the sliders are garbage. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I find the game it's a reprint of an older game, but it's super like crappy, and I never liked that.
Well,
I like games with good components.
I've got the second edition here, and they've actually colored the figurines now, so they actually have like something to them. The sliders are attach a little bit better, but they're still not as firm as I would like. But I don't know. I like the game just for the fact of you're playing it. You're playing along with it and trying to survive, and then halfway through the game, just someone up and turncoats, and now you've got to deal with them. I had the Crimson Jack game, and that was I immediately turned into Crimson Jack and tried to murder everyone, and then they beat me.
My one moment of glory in that game was getting to play. When we had the haunt and it was like a zombie invasion, I had a dog, like a girl, and like a dynamite, and I got to like slide down the banister rail and killed like all like 13 zombie tokens at once with dynamite.
Jeez.
So I like that. So I give the game like a meh. It's kind of like I've played about 6 or so games of it. So.
Oh, okay. So you played more than I have.
Yeah. Oh, and actually, if anyone comes to BabsCon, I will bring my favorite board game of all time. It's the truest test of skill and honor and everything else. So
Experience beige.
Yes.
All right. Well, you can go check that. So that's going to take care of us for FU16. We'll be done this week, and as said, next week we're going to tabletop at noon. So you can go join us streamup.com, and we will be doing that, being real silly here in this apartment. Till then, you know, we're done. We'll catch you next week. Sleep well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. So while you guys were talking, I actually just pre-ordered 2 decks for Twilight Secret ship folder.